based on the highest level of customer satisfaction. I think Honda of Lincoln really is your best choice. Now let's talk to Andy.
Thanks, Charlie, and thanks for your kind words.
Andy, tell us what it takes to win an award like this.
Will do, Charlie. It's about being customer-focused. Our sales and service team have been with us for a long time, and every day, all they focus on is 100% customer satisfaction. It's really that simple.
Maybe it's time you experience the best. The Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
I am Harrison Arns, producer of Ticket Weeknights and Weekends right here at 93.7 The Ticket. My favorite things to do in downtown Lincoln are checking out all the local sports events, whether it's basketball, football, volleyball, or even Lincoln Stars hockey. I enjoy it all because I get to experience one of the best sports communities in the country.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for their 14th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an exclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, they're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Hey, Nebraska sports fans. This summer, professional tennis returns to Lincoln. Watch rising stars of the ATP Tour compete for over $100,000 in prize money for the 2026 Lincoln Challenger from July 12th to the 19th at the Sid and Hazel Dillon Tennis Center. Witness top tennis pros compete right here in Lincoln and experience tennis close-up like never before. To purchase tickets or to sign up for volunteer opportunities, please visit www.lincolnchallenger.com. Not just a stop, a stage. Lincoln Challenger 2026.
Play ball! Some places just feel like home. In Lincoln, that place is Haymarket Park. For 25 seasons, it's where we gather with friends, with family, and our out-of-towners who want that same warm welcome. It's where kids catch their first foul ball, where we're all neighbors for at least 9 innings. Because when Salt Dogs fans root for our home team, there isn't a single stranger in the stands. So come one, come all, and let your local tradition play on. Get your tickets at saltdogs.com.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers. Ever look at your house and think, ouch, it's stuck in the past? Or realize that your kitchen needs a new everything? Like thousands of homeowners, you can simply call SprayNet Lincoln. Their patented spray system and paint delivers a flawless factory finish. No mess, done in a day, and cost-effective. It looks just like new, including your vinyl. And it's all backed by their 15-year no-peel warranty. SprayNet Lincoln, custom chemistry and smarter painting. Google SprayNet Lincoln or call them now at 402-383-3336 or email ching@spray-net.com.
93.7 The Ticket is Lincoln's home for Kansas City Royals baseball in 2026. Catch all the action as Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and a pitching rotation led by Cole Reagans try to lead the Royals back to the postseason. That's Kansas City Royals baseball all summer long. On the air in Lincoln at 93.7 The Ticket. Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay. Playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the heart of downtown Lincoln. This is Old School with Foreman and Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman is sponsored by Graham Tire Company of Lincoln, Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Here's Troy Detmer dropping straight back in the pocket. Rifles a pass. It was tipped and picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score! Foreman got it, and it's touchdown Huskers.
Black shirts, answer the call one more time.
And Austin Orman. Hour 1 of Old School is sponsored by Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Jay Foreman? Austin Orman is here. You got T. Farley in the background, but more importantly, we got Braylen and Steve Warren, one of my old teammates and family, Braylen Warren. This is Old School. We are live up here at Blur Tailgate, right next to the Hilton in Omaha. We're here from 10 to 6. Obviously, the Old School is going to go from 3 to 6. Doors open daily, 10:30 a.m. to midnight through the 20th. Great atmosphere, corner of 11th and Cass. Can't miss the big white tent with Blur parties on the south side of Cass Street. This is the 14th annual tailgate with all-inclusive bar, buffet, 18 TVs showing live baseball and World Cup soccer, multiple seating options, including a hammock. Buy tickets at the door, which is preferred, or purchase at blurevents.com/Omaha. Without further ado, welcome in, fellas.
Thanks for having me, my boy.
Yep. Obviously, we got Braylen in here. It's crazy how you grow up, man. And before we get into your football prowess, Braylen, I'm still salty, man. You ain't come hoop with me, man. You know what I'm saying? You a little point guard. I've been trying to recruit him. Steve was like, nah, he doing this quarterback thing. I said, hey, man.
Yeah.
I need.
He gave the hoop dreams up.
Yeah, man. He gave him up quick on me right before I could get my hands on him. But wanted to welcome you guys in, talk about you guys. Obviously, a lot has been going on in your guys' life since the last time I seen you. And we'll start with you, Steve, and then obviously Braylen.
Yeah.
Steve, talk about how it is as a father, right? And I think you do it right because you're hands off, but you're obviously there to support as a father to see him grow from obviously when he played basketball, first decided to play football to where he's at now and where is he going?
I think the funny thing is just watching this kid grow up. I didn't quite know, early on if he was going to be a quarterback. He'd always kind of played it, but we made him do everything.
Right.
Basketball, we made him play soccer early. We made him play football just to be an athlete. But it's fun to see where he's at right now and the love he's getting that he's always deserved the last few years. We've always thought he was a top 10 caliber type kid.
Right.
But we've never chased the quarterback camps. We've never chased the hype. We always just said, let's get him in the same room at one time and let's see who's who for real. And that's what's been happening lately. So I'm just proud of him. He's done things the right way too, right? He's worked hard, stayed humble. He's listened. That's the big part.
Man, that's the number one right there.
Yeah,
you 5-star there, Braylen, if you listening.
Yeah, he's listening. So that's what I'm most proud about. He listens and then he's coachable. When we go to these camps, that's the one thing they say is we just love his demeanor when it comes to coaching and him attacking the process.
And Braylen, I want to ask you what it's been like for you. Obviously, your dad was a great player. Obviously, one of my great teammates at Nebraska and played pros. Talk about your process. When did you, I know when you decided, right? When you didn't call me back, but when did you decide, and said, I'm really going to take this quarterback thing and be great at it? Because I think a lot of high school kids like playing quarterback on, Friday nights?
Yeah.
But talk about when you decided, I'm going to be a quarterback and I'm going to do it the right way.
My first year playing tackle football, I quit quarterback. I didn't like it that much, but the next year, it was really fun for me. I like being a leader of the team, having the ball in my hands all the time, and just being able to decide where to go with it and everything. But I didn't really take it too seriously until maybe 7th grade, 8th grade.
Right.
But having him, having a QB coach and all that, it really is so it's a blessing just being able to train all the time and go whenever I want to. So it makes it easy for me at least. But yeah.
Yeah, but you got to put in the effort, man. And,
right.
And I wanted to ask you before we get into the the recruiting process, because I think it's obviously changed from when me and your dad got recruited. Talk about for you, Braylen and Steve, because I remember I'm talking to Steve and I knew how good you were, and obviously you kind of was real low key. Talk about the time Tom Luganbill saw you, I think at another camp, right? And saw your facility at the facility, saw your video, and then there you go. You just finally got live on stage. Talk about how that process of being patient and then somebody actually who's well respected giving you your props and then kind of take off from there.
It was great just being seeing him post that. like it was a cool experience. Like I haven't really had any of that before, and then now just seeing that, like just knowing I got to stay humble and keep on working though. Like of course, but like it was cool seeing that.
Yeah,
it was. We were actually at Michigan at camp.
Yeah. I know
we
you were.
At
Yeah,
Michigan, and he was, and it came across, everybody's Twitter, and we're like, oh, wait a minute, it's Tom Luganville, so this is a little bit different right here. So it was cool. Finally, somebody that saw it.
Right.
Like I said, because we didn't chase the camps and the FBUs and the rivals, and we didn't believe in that. Like we just believed in going to work and doing the things that we needed to do, and it paid off for him.
And where did that process or that plan come from you to because it takes an extreme amount of patience because kids these days want it right now. Talk about that process to sit down as a family, father, son, player, coach, player to your teammates in your facility, with the Warren Academy. So this is how not only we're going to do it, but this is what is going to be our benchmark on how we kind of advise people in recruiting.
I think. Go ahead.
You got it.
No, so I think the process came from just the academy, right? Like we're 20 years in.
Yeah.
So the experience of me being able to sit back and watch other people's kids and families go through the process, and us advising people, and some people taking the advice, and some people not listening.
Yeah.
I think it just helped me when I got to be a father myself and have a quarterback son was to take my own advice, and to do the things that we knew were important. So I think it just came from the academy, just the years of experience. And we're fortunate though, like Braylen said, like we got real dudes in that building coaching.
Right.
We got
that's
real
where the
dudes with
success
real
comes
experience,
from.
right?
Yeah.
Like so, it's not just like dads in there working. Like it's like dudes that have played at a high level, that still coach at a high level. So just being in that environment where we can talk and throw things off of each other, talk about our own experiences. Justin Cameron, the head coach of Lewis Central, he's on our staff.
Right.
Won 3 or 4 state titles. He had a kid that was a Division I quarterback. Me and being able to pick up the phone and talk to him and ask him things, like those type of things are what helped the most. I don't know. I guess, Braylen, for you, was it being around those guys, the players, because you grew up watching all those dudes?
Yeah, I mean, like just being around the dudes that got recruited too was always cool. But like again, just having him, like he has seen like the kids go through the academy. He's talked to him. He knows what he's doing. Like he lived it himself. And so like having him, just being able to have him go through the process with me is a true blessing too. Like he just guides me. So yeah.
So Braylen, you just got back from Elite 11. Obviously, there's not a lot of intel that at the process of getting selected. But then talk about your time out there. What you learned, what you picked up on from other players. I know you're very, very astute, student of the game, so you watch and you learn from what they do well, don't do well. Talk about talk about the process of going through that and what Warren Academy has helped you in that process, because you've been around a lot of from like Easton Stick to all those guys. So now you've seen guys that have played at a high level. How did that help you when you went to Elite 11?
It was a really cool experience, just being around all the top quarterbacks in like the nation. It was just really cool being able to like talk to them. I feel like they were pretty down to earth too.
Right.
And so it was a pretty tight knit group. And then also just like kind of being able to go through those drills with my QB coach. Like there's guys that have gone through the process of Elite 11 too. So I was able to go through the drills and just like being able to compete, already knowing like what I'm doing. But yeah, it was really cool just being out there. Being able to see all the great coaching. But yeah, the best time for me was really just being around the guys. Because I'm gonna be like competing against them.
Right.
I might play with 1 or 2 of them. But yeah.
And for you, Steve, when you got the call, or I guess they probably do an email or whatever now. Yeah. Heck, they might even do a text. What was it like for you? And obviously, as a dad, as a coach, a mentor, a leader, business owner, all that stuff for you. And it's Braylen going out to Elite 11. You've been through the process before with other players in your academy, but it's a little different when homeboys, you see them every morning. Talk about that for you.
Yeah, I think it was validation.
Yeah,
like Coach Tailgate, our quarterback coach, we're really tight, and we've had Zane and Jet and Danny, and now Braylen, go through Elite 11. Danny was the only other Elite 11, true Elite 11 finalist. But I think for us, like, we knew how good Braylen was, and we had seen it. And the funny thing is, like, when he won the regional in Indianapolis, we thought he didn't perform well because we see him every day.
Yeah.
So we thought he had like a really average day, and I think he probably said the same thing too. And he ends up winning the regional, and what they say is the most stacked regional of it all. But for us, it was validation because we were like, okay, I felt like people here don't really know how good he is.
Right.
You know what I mean? We've talked about that. Like, I think people here don't really know the quarterback game from a high school level, like how good this kid is.
Right.
And so it was, for us, it was like, okay, now you can see these are 20 of the top quarterbacks in the country, and he's one of the top 11. Like, that's a huge deal. So just validation, man.
You know, I coach basketball, obviously, but some of my basketball players, like, you know, Tyrell Chapman, he's at Penn State and all that stuff. So I, you know, talk to him and his family quite often. For basketball, summer basketball is kind of where you get your best coaching and opportunities. Is that the same for football, or is it 50-50? You know, because I know the recruiting calendar is extremely different.
Yeah.
I know 7-on-7 is huge, going to camps and all that. But the process as far as recruiting, the timelines is always changing because of the portal and all that other stuff. What's it like? What's the football recruiting? What do you pour more into, but what's the most important to get noticed for a kid that's out there listening or a parent?
I think the most important thing, what we decided to do early was, again, you see all these showcases, right?
Right.
Like, and I told him early, and he would see kids go to these showcases and they'd end up getting ranked, and so much of it is political, and you find out kids' trainers are actually the ones doing the showcases.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, we're not doing all that because it doesn't matter that much early.
Right.
So let's just focus. So after his freshman year, we decided college football camps were the first thing to do.
Right.
So we went to, I think, Iowa State. Where did we go?
We went to Iowa State, K-State, Mizzou.
Michigan, obviously.
That was a second. That was after his sophomore year.
Oh,
so I think we just did 3 that first year, and he got the Iowa State offer right away.
Right.
And so we just decided we were going to focus on just 3 camps. And we weren't going to do any more than that. Like, and it was only the camps. It was only the camps of people that actually were showing him attention. That's the other thing we tell kids is like, don't go to a camp.
Yeah, go where you got communication.
Yeah, go where you want it. So we only went to the camps where people were actually talking to us. Like, people had been in to see him, watch him throw in the spring, had been there to talk to him, had reached out to me, had reached out to his high school coaches, so we knew it was like real attention, not just like a form letter that came in the email in your DM.
Right.
So we focused on college camps first because we felt like that was the most important thing, but also just college camps where we had attention. Just don't go to any camp.
Now, Braylen, I wanted to ask you, getting that early exposure, obviously around some really good players here in Nebraska and watching them, you know, as a young kid, but then that exposure from Warren Academy, when you had to perform, essentially that's a big leap going from high school football to, you know, there's a lot of pressure. You know, you're going to Iowa State, Kansas State, and Mizzou. Do you think that your training at Warren Academy made it that much easier?
Yeah, I think it really translates. Like, just being around the top guys in the state all the time, just training with them and all that, it brings your level up. And so just kind of going to the other camps, seeing like all the other college kids and all the other top recruited kids, like I wasn't really nervous at all. Right. Just really excited to go out and compete. And so like it really helps you out, like perform. It helps you perform the best that you can, just because you're already kind of used to it.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing. Is like we are, like you said, the top kids in the state are in there.
Yeah,
the majority of them are in there training, not just once, but 2 or 3 times a week, all week. Yeah. You're always seeing them. The NFL guys are coming back. They're training. You're working with them. This whole past offseason, he was with Adrian Martinez the whole winter, working 2 days a week. So you got a current NFL guy and pretty much just him training together. So when you go to these camps, what's bigger than that?
It's another day. Another day.
What's bigger than that?
I wanted to ask you, Steve, before we move in, I want to really obviously focus on Warren Academy because I think a lot of people, obviously we're up here in the metro. They know about you. You know, I'll be clowning too. That's an inside joke for people when I talk about the metro. But people in the metro know about Warren Academy across the state. But next we're going to get into Warren Academy. But I want to ask you this, Steve, just because I remember when I got recruited and obviously my dad, how much have you been surprised about the recruiting process and the prowess and all the stuff that goes into recruiting versus when Coach Osborne and those guys were recruiting you many, many years ago?
It's a different world, man. I don't know if you haven't been in the recruiting world, in the process, like with a kid, like you see it from the outside and you see it because you're down in Lincoln some, but the things that these kids have exposure to and what they're getting exposed to from recruiting is totally different than us. Like, you remember how I showed up to the recruiting trip?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you remember that? So it's nothing like that. Like, it's limo services picking you up and driving you and
taking you to the airport.
Taking you to the airport. It's a completely different world. It's really, really top-notch services. It's really like a concierge type deal.
Right.
And what they have now from the college athletic standpoint too, like me and Jamel always tell Braylen all the time how broke we were as college students.
We were broke, bro.
Broke.
We were down bad. Isn't that what you guys say, Braylen?
Yeah,
we were down bad.
Like broke, but now they like with the cards, they don't feed them at the stadium. They get prepaid cards. Recruiting is and it's deserved, right?
Right.
Because there wasn't no reason for us to be that broke from what we were doing for the university, right? So it's all good stuff, but man, it's a different world. It really is. It's fun to see though.
Yeah.
I don't know where it goes from here. I don't know how it can get
any bigger.
They're
going to have to probably pop that bubble. But Braylen, my advice to you: get it all, player.
Right.
Get it all. I wanted to ask you, Steve. Obviously, let's highlight Warren Academy.
Yeah.
Talk about all the players. Obviously, Braylen included. Talk about all the players that came through Warren Academy. Talk about what you guys do. I know what you guys do, so I could do it, but it's better coming from you. And talk about where else you're going to take Warren Academy in the future.
I mean, we're almost 20 years in now. So our first Division I recruit was Tyler Rice. And full circle from there, Tyler ends up being his coach at Westside for a period of time. And then we all get on now. He's the GM at South Dakota State.
Right.
So now I talk to Tyler all the time about all these other kids coming through here. So for me, that's the fun part is we get to see
the
dudes
growth
that come through
have
now gone on. They're now professionals, either coaches or playing professional or back coaching high school ball. There have been so many dudes come through here, man. It's crazy. Noah Fant was one of our first big recruits. Harrison Phillips, another big recruit that we helped out in the beginning. It's fun to see those guys now 8, 9, 10 years in the league, doing what they're doing, families. Adrian Martinez, like I mentioned, is working out. Cole Payton.
Yeah.
Cole Payton's in there this morning. Our young 10-year-old kids are in there training, and they don't even probably know who Cole is. And Cole's in the back stretching.
Yeah.
Just got drafted by the Eagles in the 5th round. But that's our environment now. That's the fun part is like that's the environment. That's what you see every day. The guys coming back from college, Bryson Williams was at Penn State, Amarion, Jet. And not just those guys, man. We've got 192, I think, right now, current college football players.
Right.
And so that's NAIA and above. And it's fun seeing those dudes come back because they come back too and they still want to get work and they're trying to move up. So we're just loving it right now. Where do we go from here? Just trying to sustain it. Right. Our facilities getting an upgrade. So we're excited about that. Like our facilities is getting renovated and we've got some things planned for the future that we'll talk about here when we can. But it's just sustaining it, building off of it, more opportunities. I think that's for me is I always think about what I didn't have when I came back playing college or pro from high school, like things I wish I would have had access to, trainers, PT, athletic medicine. So I just try to be that resource. Like I get calls. Thomas Fedoni hit me up the other day. Do you have a PT? I need to see somebody while I'm home. Just connect them. Like I want to be that resource for people. That's who we want to be.
And Braylen, I want your perspective, I guess, evaluating your dad in Warren Academy, because I think the one thing that separates Warren Academy from a lot of other, and this is not hating on any other trainers, but I think it's the personal relationships because I know Steve and how much he cares. Talk about that from your perspective as just an athlete growing up and seeing how much your dad has poured into these kids and obviously now having relationships 20 years down the road and somewhat of a business relationship with Rice and everybody else. Talk about that from your perspective, seeing how your dad has worked and then obviously grown the academy.
All the trainers I have great relationships with, like his old teammates and all that. That always just come through like Warren Academy and the 7-on-7 practices and and JT and them. We all built like really good relationships. I can go to them with anything, and so anytime I like really need anything, I can come in there and talk to him. Like I texted JT yesterday, just checking up. He's in Florida right now.
Right.
He sent me a picture, like because we're going there in a week, so it's like they're almost like best friends. So,
right.
Yeah.
And now, Braylen, the big question now, obviously, I know I talked to Steve and before you were officially committed to Missouri. Talk about your commitment to Missouri, how you came to the decision, and what makes Missouri right for you in Missouri and you right for Missouri.
I think the biggest things, Coach Drinkwitz.
Yeah.
For me, like that was probably the biggest thing for me. It's just being around him, building a relationship with him. I'm a big relationship type of guy, and so like bringing in the other coaches too. Like I committed, and the offensive coordinator and the QB coach left. They no hard feelings for me at all. They both went to not better opportunities, but maybe bigger opportunities.
Sure.
For them,
Yeah, for them. So I wasn't mad about it at all. But Chip Lindsey and Coach Darley came in, the Michigan OC and the Clemson quarterback coach. They came in, so I built another relationship with them. But they all developed really good quarterbacks.
Right.
So it was almost better for me being able to see them, not see them, build relationships with them. But also, like, a really big thing for me was it's 4.5 hours away from home.
Right.
My dad grew up an hour and a half away.
Oh, yeah.
And so I can see my family all the time, too. So that was good. That was big for me.
And Steve, for you, you didn't go to Missouri. You came where you needed to come to.
Right.
What was it for you as a father and obviously a mentor for a lot of kids? What was it about Missouri that you felt comfortable with eventually sending your son to Missouri?
I think it was his decision, right?
Yeah.
Like that's, again, going back to taking my own advice as a person who does this professionally.
Right.
Was what was best for him. Where was he comfortable at? Who had the best development plan for him? Who would I feel like has done a good job at developing the position? For me, when it comes to recruiting, I always look at if your goal is the NFL, then you need to go and be in an environment that produces NFL talent.
Yeah, NFL players.
Right,
Yeah,
and so they've done a good job at the position, at the quarterback position. The two guys that came in, Lindsey and Garrett Riley, Drake May, Klubnik, they've had great quarterbacks come out of there. Drinkwitz has done good with his quarterbacks.
Right.
So that's what we looked at. And so, actually, Teresa Kalen, Daniel Kalen, when I started the process, I said, tell me what you guys kind of did to help you choose early. And they gave us some great advice of making a checklist and writing down what are the 5 most important things to you as a player, Braylen. And it was, the things he listed out. Okay, then who checks all those boxes? And that's kind of how we went about the process. Every time we went to a camp, every time we went to a visit, we went to that list. Okay, how did they check this box?
Right.
How'd you feel about this? So I really kind of helped guide him more than anything else. I didn't want to push him anywhere. I did have my opinion of who I thought was good and who I thought was, but really just guiding him and helping him think about the whole thing without giving him the answer.
Right.
Right. Like helping him think
kind of
about
just nudging him a little bit,
just,
right?
Like, what about this? Like, what do you think this was like? Or how'd you feel about when he said this or she said that? Like things he might not catch because he's young.
Right.
But us being around the game, we hear stuff and you like, your Scooby-Doo ears pipe up a little bit like, wait a minute. I don't know if I like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if he caught it. So we'll talk about it later, not right now. So it was just really that process of those five most important things, what checked off for him.
That's good. Now we're in the real time. Now, Millard South went on the portal recruiting trail. Westside looking for some revenge, right? Your profile of Westside is up there. You got Tay, you got yourself. What's your team? What's been your guys' goal in this offseason, and how much are you looking forward to getting the season started?
Really just building like team chemistry. Our team chemistry last year wasn't as good as we wanted it to be. But like this year, like I think we have a really good team. Got some good transfers coming in or that came in. And so I think we're really like tight knit group too.
Right.
So like we really love each other. Like we have each other's backs and all that. So for us, it's just working hard, working in silence. Like we don't need that social media. We don't really want it either. Coach Mine is like a pretty old school coach. Really good coach though. But yeah, really just like working in silence, preparing.
Yeah, for you, it's your senior year, and obviously you've been playing and starting varsity for obviously ever since you've pretty much been in high school. Obviously, sophomore year on moving forward. Obviously, you've gotten better every single year. Talk about your role now as a leader, a senior, obviously a high-profile player. How has your role changed maybe in that locker room, in the day-to-day process of building towards hopefully a championship for you guys?
Yeah, being a senior and a quarterback, everybody kind of looks at you to talk and all that, and it's a role that I don't mind having. Like I kind of like it. and you kind of have to. But yeah, everyone looks at you to kind of take control of the team. What else was the question?
How is your role like changing as a high profile player now going in your senior year versus like your sophomore year?
Oh, like my sophomore year and junior year, like they don't kind of look at me as much, like to talk.
Now you're the guy. So
yeah. Now I'm the guy, so it's just like everyone kind of follows in my footsteps.
Right.
And so like you always got to be like, you don't got to be perfect, but you always got to do the right thing.
Right.
And that's kind of a big thing for me.
Well, without giving the answers to the test, Braylen, obviously I know you're always trying to improve. We'll let you go after this one. What is like one or two things that you want to improve on to, continue your progress of being a great quarterback?
One or two things I want. Really just taking advantage of how much time I have left. Like I don't have much time left, so I want to spend time with the guys, build the relationships where I can. But like football wise, probably just be like you can always get better at like the little things, like little mechanics and type stuff like that. And then like I'm about to go to Oregon, so just taking advantage of that opportunity too.
Right. Well, that's good, man. Appreciate you guys stopping by. And we went over a little bit, but I thought it was important for not only Braylen to come on, get some love, long overdue love since you not down in Lincoln, but we definitely are your biggest fans, down there in Lincoln. Wish you all the luck in the future. I always talk to your dad. So that's Braylen Warren, Steve Warren, Warren Academy. Check them out. You got athletes from, little guys all the way through high school. They'll get you right. We're going to take a quick break, come back. Jay Foreman and company, Old School. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Championship season is here, and preparation makes all the difference. When preparing to buy a home, Vasily Sakaz with Lincoln Federal Savings Bank is ready to help with local service, competitive options, and a guidance every step of the way. Start your home loan and journey today at vsakaz@lincolnfed.com. Lincoln Federal Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing leader.
I am Harrison Arns, producer of Ticket Weeknights and Weekends right here at 93.7 The Ticket. My favorite things to do in downtown Lincoln are checking out all the local sports events, whether it's basketball, football, volleyball, or even Lincoln Stars hockey. I enjoy it all because I get to experience one of the best sports communities in the country.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
Bonzal Pool and Spa is turning 75, and you're getting the presents. Right now, we're counting down to our Big Diamond Anniversary Bash on July 11th with massive weekly doorbuster sales. Stop in every Monday for 75% off your favorite premium BioGuard water care products. Plus, every $75 you spend starting today enters you to win a $7,500 premium in-home sauna. Get your pool ready for summer and start winning today at Bonzal Pool and Spa, 33rd and Nebraska Parkway in Lincoln. Bonzal Pool and Spa, every day made better.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today. We'll see lots of sunshine. It'll be windy and warm with an afternoon high around 91. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a continued breeze below around 63. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return with a light breeze, a little cooler. An afternoon high near 82. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Schwezo Construction, safety isn't just a policy, it's a promise. Build with us. Work safe, go home proud. We're hiring skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, and steel erectors who value quality work and a team that has your back, on and off the job site. If you're ready to be part of a company where your safety and success come first, visit Schwezo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com and apply today. Schwezo Construction, 40 years strong and still building the future.
Is there anything worse than paying for something that's done half-assed? You buy something, you want it to work, especially when it comes to your internet. When you're trying to stream a movie, work from home, or shop online, half-assed internet doesn't get it done. At Allo Fiber, we don't do anything half-assed. We offer 100% real fiber and real human support that serves the community from the community. So while others may say they have fiber, in the end, there's half-fast fiber, and then there's Allo Fiber. Allo Fiber, internet built for you.
It's playoff season in Nebraska, and Rod's Power Sports is stepping up to the plate with a championship lineup. Dominate the off-road with the ultimate power and reliability of new Honda Power Sports vehicles. Need to crush the yard work? Knock it out of the park with commercial-grade Skag mowers and legendary steel power equipment. And when it's time to haul your gear, trust a heavy-duty Featherlight trailer to get you there. From sales to expert parts and service, Rod's Power Sports has got your bases covered. Visit Rod's Power Sports just south of Lincoln in Roca or at rodspowersports.com. Rod's Power Sports, where the winning season never ends.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for their 14th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an exclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, they're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Nebraska volleyball season is months away, but you have the opportunity to meet 2 stars of the team in person. Insight Partners is hosting their Better Together Bash on Thursday, June 25th from 5:30 to 7 p.m., featuring a meet and greet with Nebraska volleyball stars Andy Jackson and Bergen Riley. It's a family fun evening with photos, games, autographs, and limited edition merch. Bring the family down for a great time at the Insight Partners Better Together Bash on Thursday, June 25th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. in the Rail Yard.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. Welcome back in to Old School. Austin Orman, Jay Foreman with you. Big thanks to Steve and Braylen Warren for stopping by. Great stuff from them. Really appreciate them making the trek here over to downtown. Fantastic Wednesday here at Blur. The only downside, Jay, is that my hat that is the correct color blue is not working to this point. The Tar Heels are rolling right now. They're up 12-4 in the bottom of the 7th. So I did my best. It didn't necessarily work. I'll have to try again harder next time. This is Old School, brought to you by Graham Tire Company. Don't forget, they have 4 locations in Lincoln. They're celebrating 75 years of serving the Midwest. More than just tires, they do all kinds of car and light truck repairs, too. From brakes to oil changes, trust Graham Tire for service you can count on. Graham Tire, getting you to the places that matter most. Just because we're on location doesn't mean we don't want to hear from you. Sartor Hamann Jewelers text line open, as always, to hear from you. Jay, some news in Nebraska men's basketball. Obviously, they did some team stuff, working on some individual stuff right now over the summer, but they miss out on another high-profile target on the wing. Jack Conan from Wisconsin. His younger brother Joey is in next year's class as well. But this kind of adds to the growing list of guys at the wing position that Nebraska has missed out on ever since they landed Ty Schlegel up from Cretin-Durham Hall in Minneapolis, or St. Paul technically, I suppose. Nebraska swung and missed it a lot. Ryan Hampton, who went to Kentucky, always one that was a long shot for Nebraska, but they still didn't get him. They miss on London Dada, who goes to Creighton. They miss on Donovan Davis and now Jack Conan, who both go to Iowa State. I guess the big question for me to you is reason for concern for Nebraska. The 25-26 might not have provided the momentum that fans think it did, or something else.
Oh, I mean, it's probably a little bit of everything. I mean, recruiting is, obviously very fickle, and you don't know what the reasons are. And I say like this, just because, I always say this, if you miss the first time, that doesn't really mean much, because you can get them the very next year. Mm-hmm. And we've seen that obviously with Jamarcus Lawrence leaving and coming back, and obviously being original here and then leaving, and then he was able to come back. So I don't really think it's that big of a deal. I mean, I think it's a big deal, right? Because I think in this day and age of college football and basketball and all that stuff, when the iron is hot, you have to strike, and you have to essentially accumulate as much assets as possible. So, look, London Dada, being a Metro kid, Creighton, I think Creighton got a pass, right?
Okay,
right.
Sure.
Over the last 10 years, they've been more consistent, right? And
by far,
and I think they were ranked number 1 or high up there at one point in time in the last 10 years. And had some really good players. And then last year they weren't as good, even though Nebraska's had their way with them at times. And so, look, he's a local kid, and you think like, okay, you blame it on the transition from McDermott going into retirement, new coach coming in, new opportunity. And, Nebraska, I think, put their best foot forward with him. And, look, maybe they had a little bit more inside track because, London Dada is a late development player, and,
for sure.
And so, look, he has to get in the best position for himself. But the other ones, like Conan and all them, you'd like to see Nebraska be able to close the deal, especially with what Nebraska did this year. Now, look, you lose to Iowa State. Now, Iowa State's been one of the most consistent teams and was very high ranked, probably a dud in the NCAA tournament. But overall, playing in the Big 12, you can understand why. It's not a cause for concern. It's a cause to be wary.
Okay.
Right. I mean, and wary's wary's bad because wary's like, oh, spook. It's a cause to be just your ears got to be perked up a little bit. But also, I think Fred and those guys have probably recruited all these guys hard, and it just didn't work out. And maybe they see that Nebraska probably has all their spots, took. You got Frager, who's going to be potentially back for even after next year. They've had Rice and all those guys coming. So, look, it's not just, hey, we went to the Sweet 16 for the first time ever. We won, two games. Come one, come all. It's not that easy, even though it should be a little bit easier than a couple years ago. So Nebraska's got to figure out why and counteract that and then make it a positive. And look, if they just say, hey, look, Iowa State's been recruiting us more, longer. They've been a better team or program over the last 20 years. Okay, then so be it. You can't go do anything. You got to keep chugging along, but you also got to keep putting your hat in the ring because you're going to get, 2 or 3 guys a year?
Yeah, probably, especially with the way Nebraska wants to recruit in high school. Yep.
And that's a lot. It might just
this
be
day
one,
and age, right?
So 2 guys a year, and you approach the top 20, maybe top 40. Considering look, Arkansas recruits exclusively high school players.
Right.
You have to be willing just to take a couple lumps and being told no. I think being told no is just one more conversation till you hear yes.
You said a lot of really great stuff there, kind of dodging in, around, and through some of the stuff that I was going to say. I think first and foremost, the point I want to pick up on is that 3 years of relative success for you does not mean you're in the club necessarily, right? You got the invite, you're at the party, and maybe a sign that there is more respect for Nebraska now than before is that Nebraska was in some of these conversations even later than they were, further on into the process, making, not just the top 10, but making the top 5, making the final 3. Maybe that's a step in the right direction. Like you said, keep the relationship, right? Price Sanford really enjoyed his time at Nebraska on the visit, just couldn't pass up playing with his brother. And maybe that's the same thing for the Conans, right? Where Joey Conan is a 28 guy who's probably going to end up committing to Iowa State with his brother. But I know TJ Otzelberger just signed that extension. What if he leaves?
What if he leaves and then one leaves and then you get another? You can almost get, it all follows. And I think it's just one of those things that, there's an old saying, it's one thing where Nebraska was on the list a few years ago, right? Now you want to be at the top of the list, right? And then you need to get to the point to where you're the list. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Nebraska's at the top of the list right now for a few.
Yeah.
Now you want to be, the list per se and be able to go from there. So I think it's, Nebraska's moving in the right way. I think the one thing about recruiting, as soon as you lose out on a guy or you lose a guy in the portal or lose a freshman, a late, a kid that goes somewhere else, you're like, oh, there's got to be something wrong. Sometimes these kids are fickle, man. And look, they're not going to say they turned down Nebraska to go to Murray State. And they were, London Dada went to Murray State. Then you'd be like, you're going to Murray State, right? So I think it's also, look, Creighton's a good program. No matter what happened last year, they're really well,
they're established.
As it looks, and then Iowa State as well.
Yeah.
Now, as much as these coaches play hopscotch, right?
Right.
Things can change, and next thing you know, he if he doesn't have an opportunity, talking about the Conan kid, to go to wherever, and maybe he hadn't played, and you have a plan for him. Sometimes it works out. It works out for you, just not right now.
I think that's spot on, right? The Tommy Hill thing comes to mind for football, and that worked out pretty well for Nebraska till the foot injury in a different sport. The other part, though, that I think we need to talk about is the transfer portal versus high school.
Yeah.
You're right, and that Nebraska doesn't take nearly as many kids out of high school. No one does. It's a process of.
But sometimes if the perception is the reality, but the perception might not be the reality. But actually, it is the reality, because if people are negative recruiting against you, right?
Yeah.
So say you're Nebraska, and let's just say Iowa State. You know they only really recruit high school players,
right?
I do all right, and it might not be true, but that could really sway you from one place to another.
Well, on the flip side of that, for Nebraska, if you want to flip it to a positive, is no, we don't recruit many high school guys, which tells you how important you are to us, that we're spending resources on you. So I think there's a way maybe to counter that, depending on when you hear that message. If you get the Iowa State version in this example first, or the Nebraska version first. For a program like Nebraska, though, Jay, we talked about it when it happened, when we heard from Troy Dannon, but it's going to be worth keeping in mind the resources. Yeah. The thought is that it's going to be cheaper to get guys from high school. Are we sure that Nebraska is going to continue to sustain the spending that it says it's going to invest this year for men's basketball? It's where landing some of these guys, creating that high school pipeline at one position, essentially could be cost effective, right? Because we know that Nebraska, Jamarcus Lawrence kind of fits in both camps. Sam Hoiberg, you can't bank on having another one of him. Maybe Cale Jacobson in a different way with similar-ish, maybe not quite the level results, but Nebraska hasn't recruited a high-level high school point guard, kept him around for 3 years. And we know about Nebraska with big men. They are in the portal all the time for ones and twos and fives.
Yeah.
3s and 4s they found from high school. They've had a lot of good success with.
Easier to come by.
You would think, right? And so I think what Nebraska has tried to do in high school recruiting is find those wings. We know that Fred Hoiberg loves the versatility, the guys that can handle, that can shoot, that can pass, that can defend multiple positions in a team concept. Those are the guys that Fred Hoiberg thinks he can find in high school. And so to me, when Nebraska misses out on point guards or big men in recruiting, it's, okay, they haven't really developed them, I get it. But wings, that's where I think, it's not panic button mode, but it just puts that much more pressure on Nebraska in the transfer portal to get it right year after year. And here's the thing, high school and transfer portal, neither one of them are a sure thing. Yeah. It's all a crapshoot in recruiting, no matter where you get the players from. But I think it would be nice, and to your point, cost-effective for Nebraska to be able to carve out that niche in recruiting wings from the greater Midwest, Great Lakes kind of, Rockies area, to be able to bring that position in on a somewhat consistent basis so they can throw more resources at the portal, those other positions where they haven't had the success in high school.
Yeah, you want to try to create it like I like to call it like a little watering hole, right?
Absolutely.
Like you're known in that region of the country or whatever that radius is for. In football they always talk about the 300-mile radius, but if you're in that radius, what you're looking for, what type of player, this is where you need to go. So. I think it's it's a learning process. And I said this even after the season. This is new territory for Nebraska.
Oh, for sure.
It's new territory for, the athletic department a lot. When you look at the success of volleyball, football is obviously went to a bowl game, but let's just look at the success of volleyball, the baseball team, the softball team, the basketball team. You had track and field here. This is a new
wrestling doing it again,
doubling down on that success. So now it's validated, right? And you have to put more resources there, right?
Just to sustain,
and you're going to attract a higher level clientele.
Sure.
So this is a new era for the athletic department, and so just saying the same thing for basketball. It's a new era for Fred Hoiberg and those guys. Not that they can't handle it, but it's different because now they're able to look at lists and look at every single player on that list and have a realistic chance to get them. And so there's going to be a lot more harder no's, right? Maybe bigger letdowns.
Sure.
And then the perception will come in because guess what? Just as much as I talked about Texas Tech, and I felt like Brendan Sorsby is the pawn for the target on Texas Tech's back. It's the same thing with Nebraska. Because Nebraska's never been good at basketball.
Right.
So how dare you have a good season? How dare you come get players or guys out the portal that we want? So we're going to try to negative recruit against you. And that is actually a compliment, but it's also part of the process that you got to deal with it.
No, I think that's great. A couple things from the Starter Heyman Jewelers text line. asking if Colin Rice is still in. Yes, Colin Rice still committed to Nebraska. He was on the jersey number tweet, in fact. So go find that from Nebraska men's basketball. He and Jay Blanier are the two guys. They'll be new to the team from the high school ranks for this coming season. 2086 also says, we have to always trust in Fred. He gets basketball. Austin and Jay always kill it. Love your cast. Appreciate that from 2086. Dan from Canopy. Appreciate you, Dan. Hope you and the family and the business are doing well. He says, we can trust Fred. That's new for us. Go Big Red. And that's the thing. I'm not trying to be doom and gloom. I'm not trying to point to the negative. I'm just trying to point to the reality that Nebraska's in and that they're in competition with some big name programs, and also point out to fans, Jay, not to try to, poo-poo on everything that last year was so much fun, but more goes into being that recruiting mainstay. And like you said, not just getting to the top of the list, but being the list. Then, 2 NCAA tournament appearances, 2 wins in a crown tournament. There's so much more success from other programs over the long haul that, Nebraska is, starting to nudge the door open, but it's not like Nebraska is walking in. They still have to show ID.
They still got to show ID. And, look, when you're trying to make some noise or you're really trying to do something that people don't think you could do, you don't knock at the door. You got to kick it in. So you got to take some big swings. There'll be some big misses, but you're going to hit some home runs. And then what you got to do is you got to validate it. Mm-hmm. That's why this season's so important.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not a win-loss, right? It's not even making the Sweet 16. It's the eye test. What have you done that's applicable in last year to this year? It's actually the year before,
right?
And a couple years before that.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're coming there and you have your data here, then all the naysayers, it's like when Nebraska was 20-0 and people were like, well, if they don't make the grade 8, then it's a letdown. Then that just went away because Nebraska kept winning. So as long as they continue to do that, they'll just be just fine. And, sometimes you get the yes and no's, and you got to take who you can take and coach who you can coach.
Totally agree. We'll go to break. As we continue the show, we'll talk a little bit of Brendan Sorsby, some news from the College Football Playoff Committee's meetings. And how about this? Bill Simmons has Jalen Brunson as a top 50 player all time. That is some pretty notable names. We'll talk about that at 4. Brendan Sorsby's agent coming after Cincinnati. Good agent work, bad agent work, something in between. He's Jay Foreman. I'm Austin Norman. Harrison Arons on the board. We'll be back from Blur right after this.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
It's playoff season in Nebraska, and Rod's Power Sports is stepping up to the plate with a championship lineup. Dominate the off-road with the ultimate power and reliability of new Honda Power Sports vehicles. Need to crush the yard work? Knock it out of the park with commercial-grade Skag mowers and legendary steel power equipment. And when it's time to haul your gear, trust a heavy-duty Featherlight trailer to get you there. From sales to expert parts and service, Rod's Power Sports has got your bases covered. Visit Rod's Power Sports just south of Lincoln in Roca or at rodspowersports.com. Rod's Power Sports, where the winning season never ends. Farmers know it all starts with the soil. At Carbon Connections, they're helping you unlock its full potential. Their high-quality humic acid improves nutrient uptake, boosts root development, and enhances soil structure, so your crops get more from every acre. But it doesn't stop there. With a full lineup of crop protection products, they help you reduce synthetic inputs while protecting yields and profits. Smarter inputs, healthier soils, better returns. It's time to grow more naturally. Visit Carbon Connections on Facebook or call them today at 402-947-1476 to learn how they can help your farm thrive. Carbon Connections, unlocking your potential.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
Is there anything worse than paying for something that's done half-assed? You buy something, you want it to work, especially when it comes to your internet. When you're trying to stream a movie, work from home, or shop online, half-assed internet doesn't get it done. At Allo Fiber, we don't do anything half-assed. We offer 100% real fiber and real human support that serves the community from the community. So while others may say they have fiber, in the end, there's half-fast fiber, and then there's Allo Fiber. Allo Fiber, internet built for you.
When Nebraska businesses win, we all win. And the Nebraska Chamber is helping make that happen. Tackling the tough stuff like job creation, affordable and accessible childcare, and building a stronger workforce. We're stepping up so local businesses can step forward. If you want to see Nebraska keep growing, keep competing, and keep winning, get connected with the Nebraska Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Learn more at nechamber.com.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, owner of A1 Automotive. I want to personally thank you, our customers, for trusting us with your vehicle repair needs. Your support allows us to do what we love, serving people through quality automotive repair. If you're looking for a repair shop that values relationships as much as repairs, we'd love the opportunity to earn your trust. We have 2 locations here in Lincoln, 1117 L Street, 5110 State Hill Drive, and our newest location in Seward, Nebraska, 408 Main Street. Come see us, visit us online at a1autolincoln.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today. We'll see lots of sunshine. It'll be windy and warm with an afternoon high around 91. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a continued breeze with the low around 63. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return with a light breeze, a little cooler. An afternoon high near 82. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flechter from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
A membership with John Henry's will fast-track you to front-of-the-line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
And electrical.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. Welcome back into Old School, Hour 1 of the show, brought to you by the good folks at Heartland of Nebraska Windows. They're based out of Hallam, Nebraska. They offer a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty on everything, all while keeping their prices affordable. They're locally and family-owned with their own team of installers down there at Heartland of Nebraska Windows. You can call today for more info at 402-430-3852, or you can also visit them online, heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Jay, some college football playoff meetings going on in Denver just got done. Head of that chair, Rich Clark, who spent some time with us at Big Ten Media Days last year. Obviously still doing some spokesman work for them as the chair, says no decision on expansion as of now for the college football playoff. Different consultants delivered presentations on 16 and 24-team formats, but discussion centered on the scheduling of a 24-team field and how to make it work.
Yeah, man. Look, they're going to let you know they're letting you know that we met and let you know we're going to meet again.
Mhm.
And nothing gets
Could have been an email, but
yeah, could have done an email or a press release, but look, I think everybody pushed back initially with the expansion this year, so next year will probably be more of a hot topic. Obviously, with everything else going on, college football expansion is probably the timing isn't right. You're just kind of getting used to 12 right now, and we'll see how that goes here in the near future. But ultimately, I think the process, how they go about these decisions, if you're in a leader, here's my question would be, right, and hopefully we maybe get to do this at Big Ten Media Days if they're there again. It's like, why do we have leadership if you need consultants? you get what I'm saying?
They're the experts. You need more experts.
Sure, you need people to maybe talk about scheduling, dates, and all that. But as leadership, if you just make a decision to decide we're resetting the college football calendar from off-season on, it affects the bowl games, which then, if you're expanding the playoffs, then that's a part of part of the process as well, or part of the decision. Sure, you do need consultants on how it can be implemented. What's the perception going to be? But ultimately, at this point, I think it does more damage than good to tell us that you met and nothing. There's no decision, because you guys never make decisions in a timely fashion.
No, I think that's fair. The other part that I think is funny to me is that they got presentations and discussed 16 and 24, and yet discussion centered on the scheduling of 24. Yeah. And Dellinger goes on, staff is working on answering questions related to operation of a potential 24-team expansion bracket and the scheduling of it. Another meeting is scheduled for later this summer where valuation figures might be shared in terms of the money and the revenue behind it. I'm going to say it. I know you've said it. What's the point of talking about 16 and 24 if you're just discussing 24? We know you're going to 24, so just figure out 24.
Because they're two significantly different brackets, too.
Oh, big time.
So if you know, like we've heard, 24 is what everybody kind of knows is coming. You're doing what? Sankey a favor going to talking about 16? That's how you get to the point that you're having meetings just to announce that you're having another meeting and nothing happens.
Right.
And that's how it took so long to get to the original 14 college football playoffs. And then it took so long to get to 12, because you do all this like grab tailing, you know what I want to say, and then nothing gets done and people don't even care anymore. This should be a big announcement here.
Should.
When you think about it, this press release, you got the College World Series going on, you got World Cup soccer, so everybody is sports crazy right now, and you're coming out here in a off season, this is the dead period, right? Dog days of June, and you're going to tell people we just had a meeting and nothing came of it. Well, you've been meeting for decades. Nothing came of it. So it'll be interesting to see when they do it. I think it's a dead in the water right now. So I think I think during the season, like always, you'll start to kind of hear something or you'll see something and you're like, yeah, we'll this will be, just magically, oh, this is what we're going to do. And knowing that you can't make a decision over a weekend, it was made last year. So we'll just have to wait and see.
We will indeed wait and see. We'll talk some more college football. Did Brendan Sorsby's agent throw him under the bus with what he said about Cincinnati? We'll get into that and plenty more as we head into hour 2 of Old School live from Blair.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Championship season is here, and when it comes to buying a home, having the right team matters too. Ethan Fernandez with Lincoln Federal Savings Bank helps homebuyers step up to the plate with local guidance and mortgage process designed to keep things moving. Get started today at efernandez.lincolnfed.com. Lincoln Federal Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing leader.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today. We'll see lots of sunshine. It'll be windy and warm with an afternoon high around 91. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a continued breeze with the low around 63. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return with a light breeze, a little cooler. An afternoon high near 82. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, Nebraska sports fans. This summer, professional tennis returns to Lincoln. Watch rising stars of the ATP Tour compete for over $100,000 in prize money for the 2026 Lincoln Challenger from July 12th to the 19th at the Sid and Hazel Dillon Tennis Center. Witness top tennis pros compete right here in Lincoln and experience tennis close-up like never before. To purchase tickets or to sign up for volunteer opportunities, please visit www.lincolnchallenger.com. Not just a stop, a stage. Lincoln Challenger 2026.
When Nebraska businesses win, we all win. And the Nebraska Chamber is helping make that happen. Tackling the tough stuff like job creation, affordable and accessible childcare, and building a stronger workforce. We're stepping up so local businesses can step forward. If you want to see Nebraska keep growing, keep competing, and keep winning, get connected with the Nebraska Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Learn more at nechamber.com.
Remember your first Salt Dogs game? Maybe it was a class trip out on the berm, or date night with actual fireworks, or team building that didn't feel like work at all. For 25 seasons, Haymarket Park remains Lincoln's place for firsts like these, the kind that last. Because it's more than a baseball game. It's the joy of being here together. These are the traditions that bring us home. So here's to you, Lincoln, where local tradition plays on. Get your tickets at saltdogs.com.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Are you looking for a fresh new hangout spot? Let me tell you about Liquid Assets Sports Bar, where Mondays mean new weekly drink and food features. With 23 taps, a full lineup of cans and bottles, and 40 TVs blasting every sports package out there, you'll never worry about missing a play. Savor high-end spirits at their stylish top-shelf bar, enjoy a healthy menu, family-friendly atmosphere, and catch all of your favorite teams every day. Doors open daily at 11 a.m. Liquid Assets Sports Bar, located at 2755 Jamie Lane in South Lincoln.
Coming at you live from the heart of downtown Lincoln, this is Old School with Foreman and Orman. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Here's Coy Detmer dropping straight back in the pocket. Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score! Foreman got it, and it's touchdown Huskers.
Black shirts answer the call one more time. And Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman is sponsored by Graham Tire Company of Lincoln. Your tire store next door with 4 Lincoln locations. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. This is Old School, brought to you by Graham Tire Company. Austin Orman and Jay Foreman with you live from the Blur Tailgate at 10th, 11th, and or 12th and Cass. Most importantly, the Hilton Omaha. You can get your tickets online, blurevents.com/Omaha. We're here for the rest of the day. Blur will be back here on Saturday. It'll open up at 3 again, blurevents.com/Omaha. Get your tickets ahead of time. That's what they prefer. But either way, make sure you don't miss out on the phenomenal environment, food, drinks, people, scenery, sights, sounds, you name it, here at the Blur Tailgate. Austin Norman here, Jay Foreman there. Of course, Old School brought to you by Graham Tire Company. Jay, let's get into this from Brandon Torpy and his agent. His agent ended up on the radio having a conversation, and the agent's name is Ron Slavin. He says Texas Tech should not be the school catching heat for the way things went down. Here's what Ron Slavin had to say. He told this to 105.3 The Fan in Dallas. If anybody should be questioned or catching heat, it should be Cincinnati, because they knew for 2 years and never said anything or didn't do anything about it. That's the part of the story that gets lost. Then the writer of the article says Slavin had nothing but nice things to say about Texas Tech and more specifically Joey McGuire. The people at Tech have been great, very supportive. Joey McGuire, I think, is one of the best human beings on the planet. A lot of head coaches are transactional. He is not. Texas Tech, they didn't do anything wrong here.
Yeah, I mean, that's something I brought up, multiple times on Old School, as recent as last week. It's like, it's great that you want to have a target on Texas Tech. And I think, look, they're the new kids on the block. They're spending a lot of money. It worked out well. What they've invested in has worked out well on the field, both in every sport, basketball, football, softball, whatever they've done. And they have a billionaire booster that isn't afraid to run his mouth. And you're mad at them for a guy that, let's say Brendan Sorsby was there January 1st. He hadn't been there only 4 months.
Right.
And let's face it, the recruiting process out of the portal is like, hey, you need some money? Yeah. How much? About $5 million. Okay, that'll get you leave Cincinnati. Cool. Checks in the mail. So it wasn't like you had got to know him like extensively,
like that,
right? Like
yeah.
how Braylen Warren in Missouri had, obviously, reached out to him or met him 2 years prior before he committed. So, look, if he did it at Indiana, they probably caught a glimpse of it as he left, right? Because he redshirted. I guarantee you Cincinnati knew. And they were okay with it as long as he was playing good. They were okay with it as long as he came back, and if he played for whatever that was, $1 million this year, this story wouldn't be out there.
So why is it out there now?
Because he left, and they're salty.
But this is the agent saying that.
What? The agent saying what?
All these nice things about Texas Tech and all the bad things about Cincinnati.
Right.
So what's the agent's angle here? How does this help Brendan Sorsby?
Well, it doesn't help him because ultimately he got caught gambling or has an addiction to gambling. It's not like he's saying that these bets really weren't placed by him. What it's doing is literally placing the blame and bringing light to the University of Cincinnati that probably had some doing of this coming out and ruining his client's senior year or his last year at Texas Tech and costing him some money. Now, ultimately, Brandon Sorsby is obviously having to pay for something that he did, over the last few years and a long time ago, as far as when betting on his team that he wasn't playing on or was just a part of. That's just part of, what it is. I think, look, it's hard for me to sit up here and hear people saying you got to hold him accountable to the same extent as if it was when I was playing, because we knew about that. Even in high school, you can't gamble. Going into college, right? But then now you're paying players, right? You're paying players because the same things that you're doing supposedly legally, or in a lot of cases illegally, even breaking these lax rules, would have been either probation for the school or players being suspended. Right. Now, granted, gambling, there's a morality fact into it. It's a stupidity fact into it, or factor, excuse me. My analogy would be is if you fail the NFL drug test before or the one that you get during training camp. There's an old saying, and after July 4th, when those fireworks are done, that's the last time you need to smoke weed until you take your drug test.
Let your smoke blend in with the fireworks smoke and then call it.
The reason why is you generally from July 4th, July 4th or 5th until when training camp opens, until when they can start testing you within like 2 or 3 days of camp opening. It's like 26 to 28 days. So it's a stupid test, right? Are you dumb enough or stupid enough to continue to smoke weed to get busted? And same thing with gambling.
How undisciplined are you?
Yeah, and same with Brandon Sorsby. Like, how could you think that there's any way that you were going to get away with it, let alone gambling, but more importantly, gambling on your team, and think that people weren't going to find out, knowing at the bottom level, Cincinnati knew.
Yeah,
and maybe he thought he was going to be able to get in the NFL and get away with it. Right now, he's going to you got to hope and pray he gets drafted in the supplemental draft.
Rosebud from Elmwood here says pretty much what I was going to get at with the next point. I think you're spot on with all of it. It says Texas Tech is paying the agent too. Of course, he's being nice to Texas Tech. They got billions. Agent could care less about a school his guy doesn't go to anymore. That was my first read on this situation, that, hey, this guy knows he can get big money from Texas Tech. If I talk nice about the coach, if I talk nice about Cody Campbell, the future collective, what it used to be, right? then they're going to want more of my clients, which means more money for me.
Yeah.
This to me, and I get it, man, it seems like he's still Brendan Sorsby's agent. We'll see what happens with the NFL. But these comments, to me, I think at first blush, it's, well, why are you saying this if it doesn't help Brendan Sorsby? This, to me, is the case of an agent, I don't want to say going rogue necessarily, but kind of making himself the story and making sure his business interests are out there. And here's the thing. Go get your money if you think that's what it is. But are the best agents, Jay, the ones that are out there in front trying to make their own money by going on the radio with statements like this? Not necessarily. And I get it. You have your Borises and your Rosenhauses in the NFL and, you know, so on and so forth. But are they on the radio like this for a guy that, I'm sorry, is good, not great, like Brendan Sorsby? This, to me, was a very self-seeking, self-serving move that I don't like, even if I understand it from Ron Slavin, the agent.
Hey, man, look, when you're in this game of transfer portal and all this other stuff, it's everybody's, you know, essentially looking out for themselves. And I do get the sense that he wants to make sure that bridge or that relationship is always going to be open, because here's also what you have to understand. If I'm a young player and I come in and exceed expectations and I don't have an agent and I go to the GM, he's going to point him that way. Right. So he's laying that, and that's good business. He's got to do what he's got to do. He's not saying anything that is wrong, but he didn't mention Brendan Sorsby of trying to separate him or make him in a different light from these, I guess, charges or for gambling. And so that's where he could have done both. He could have said exactly what he said, and then he could have added it before or after about Brendan Sorsby and what he's done and you know, how he's a better person, what people are perceiving him to be. But he chose not to, and that's what agents do. Look, good agents are hard to find. I always say good agents are, you know, I wouldn't say about police. I got a lot of police guys, but good agents are hard to find, man. It's tough. Worth
their weight in gold.
Well, they like that 3%. That's when they're going to work for you. In this case, Brandon Sorsby is 20-something%. So
Right.
For $2.5 million, you know, what Brandon Sorsby got paid probably up until, you know, he's going to the supplemental draft, right? Exactly like $2.5 million.
Right.
You got to think he's made, if he's gotten the regular 20% of an agent fee, that's $500,000, right?
Out of $5 million?
No, out of $2.5 million.
Out of $2.5 million, 20% would be $500,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's right.
Woo!
I love Texas Tech. That's my what
my
they
dream
do,
school.
what
I'm
they do
sad.
this? They do, yeah. Shoot them
Wreck
off.
'em.
Yeah,
Wreck 'em.
yeah. We're shooting everything off, and so I mean, I think that's where they're at with, or where he's at with it. And it's unfortunate for Brandon Sorsby, but you know, look, he knew what he was doing. He shouldn't have done. I mean, I think the fact that he knew he made the mistake and continue to do it. He's got to deal with it. Hopefully he's able to land on his feet, and then it's going to come down to him. How good is he as a quarterback? I do think he's talented enough to get a shot. I do think he's talented enough to get drafted. How he handles these next 6 months is going to really be the tell-all for his career.
Starter Heyman Jewelers text line 1627. Texas Tech should not allow Sorsby to play. Well, don't worry, 1627. Brendan Sorsby is withdrawing his lawsuit, so he will be ineligible and likely enter that supplemental NFL draft coming up here. Deadline for entry is on Monday. And then Ray says this, Jay, back to the Cincinnati aspect of this. If Sorsby pays Cincinnati the money he owes them, they're not having this conversation.
Right, because like when he left, I don't even think he paid that $1 million back. See, that's where it's. Listen,
but if Texas Tech did, shouldn't it be water under the bridge, or is it worse coming from Texas Tech than if Texas Tech gave Sorsby the money to take back into the store for stealing the candy?
Here's what they should have done. Whatever they were going to, it's just like with Miami and Duke. Right?
Sure.
You're going to pay him $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a little shaky because Cincinnati hadn't paid him that whole $1 million. That was just a contract. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that was January.
Right.
So
we plan to pay you $1 million.
Right.
Where is it?
And then whatever you got paid from the time, the end of the regular season until whenever he decided to leave, he definitely should have paid that back because that was part of the 2026 contract.
Mm-hmm.
And so if they didn't, I understand. I would be salty too. I would be upset. I don't know. And look, these guys, it also lets you shed the light on Cincinnati too. And this is the way, business is being done. So it's not a Cincinnati thing. When they feel like they're wrong, they will ruin your career. That's why you have to be able to always play the game within the game. It's a Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
You have to play the game. You have to make sure you handle your business. And whether it's the Damon Williams situation, when and how he was going to leave, how Lane Kiffin somehow was going to get him to walk on and became their number one target, or anybody else. You have to make sure you handle your business. If you paid back the money, no matter what, they can't say much. You made a business decision. Texas Tech had more money. You wanted to go there, and that's just part of it. But you didn't. And you know what it is? I wonder if he's thinking right now, what if I would have just paid that, say it was $100,000 a month, right? Or $50,000 a month in between that 150. If I would have just said, hey, Texas Tech, you pay me 4.5, you pay them.
Yeah.
The other 500.
Right.
Probably wouldn't be here right now.
Well, that's part of my question, though. Would Cincinnati have treated it any differently coming from Texas Tech, who's the school poaching, as opposed to Brendan Sorsby, the player leaving, right? I know they get their money at the end of the day, but to me, there's a difference in where that money comes from. Even if it is Texas Tech giving the money to Sorsby to give to Cincinnati, at least to me, if it's coming from Sorsby, right, as a parent, it's one thing if, I go over to the neighbor to apologize for my kid breaking their window. But if I'm the neighbor with the broken window, I want the kid to do it. Even if they're not sorry, they don't know what they did. It's at least the gesture. It's at least the principle of the thing to where, let's say Texas Tech pays, Sorsby the full $5 million. To me, it's different if Sorsby then takes that $500,000, that $1 million, and says, hey, it's just business. It's nothing personal. Appreciate it and move on. Because if Texas Tech were just to pay that money, hey, we're stealing your player. Thanks very much. If I'm Cincinnati, I'm still thinking, well, screw you. Now, I still have this information. At least for Sorsby, you can claim he left on a better foot, and maybe they would still have gone after him. But to me, Tech paying the money versus Sorsby paying the money reads completely differently.
Yeah, because, then you're thinking like, all right, are you too much of a coward to come up and fess up to something that you didn't do or whatever, or pay back the money? It does mean more. And, it's no different if you're on a golf course and you break somebody's window and you leave your number, or if you back into somebody in a parking lot, you leave your number versus not, or versus, somebody else tells you. So you just never know. I think right now, also, Austin, if everything stayed the same, right, say it did come out, but Brandon Sorsby gave back the money, or Texas Tech gave back the money, and Cincinnati had something to do with it, that actually, that's the only way it kind of, in the world of this social media, absolves Brandon Sorsby, because he's looked at as an upstanding dude of paying back the money that he was already paid. And then here is Cincinnati salty, right? And then they kind of threw him under the bus. So that didn't happen. So right now he's got to deal with it.
But was there a world where Texas Tech could have absorbed the Brendan Sorsby transfer, self-reported the gambling violations, and said, hey, we're looking to get this young man help, unlike Cincinnati, point the spotlight on them? Now, that would have been petty to do as well, but if Cincinnati's putting up a stink about Sorsby leaving out of the transfer portal, which, again, they signed the contract, and they should have thrown a stink, but I wonder if Texas Tech, they had to have known about it to some degree at this point, if they could have said, hey, we're going to bring this young man into our fold and help him get the help he needs, if that's received any differently than the way it went down.
I think it could have, if they could have, done something like that. It would have been like the Michigan thing. You could say, this is how much we're going to sanction ourselves.
Yeah.
Self-police. I think it also goes to the point, getting out ahead of the story is always the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because you get to dictate the pace, or how the story is actually going to be portrayed if you're out there doing it. And that way it's not that much of a big a deal. But you got to think, it didn't come out of nowhere, but when it started to gain momentum, it was an avalanche.
Yeah.
And if you already know, just think about this. If you hear just on a Friday, Texas Tech self-reported himself for gambling, Brandon Sorsby checks himself into a facility, and then it comes out a week and a half later that he bet, then you're like, oh, they already handled it. Turn, next thing. It's no. Yeah. So it'd been very, very beneficial for Texas Tech to be out in front of it. It also would have been beneficial if Cincinnati would have let them know. I find it hard to believe that nobody in Texas Tech knew anything or asked any questions at Cincinnati.
Sure.
Or if you don't, you got to expand your little, I guess, black book or whatever you want to call it, so you can, really call on some people so they can, help advise you, because, he's a big part of what their plans were this year.
Yeah.
If he was on that team last year, they probably have a better chance of winning a national championship.
For sure.
And so this year he was supposed to be not only that, then some. They got a really good running back, and running backs, coming back, and got a good guy out of the portal, got some high school kids, upgrade at receiver. Feel like the offensive line is okay. The defense always is going to be, obviously, turnover century, and then you just need the quarterback guy that was going to be effective. And let's be honest, in the Big 12, he's a problem.
Yeah, sure.
And right now he's going to be watching. Now he's trying to throw his hat in the NFL.
Well, to be fair, he was in the Big 12 before, but
but that's
yes.
what you got to do. You got to blow through the Big 12 and then roll the dice on where you're at. You get a home game if you're Texas Tech. You like that. You like your chances, right? So it's all about a placement thing. But right now he's the Texas Tech season might be in a little bit of a flux.
West Virginia's season officially complete. Mountain Mama head on home. North Carolina headed to the Men's College World Series Finals, first time since 2007. And no, I'm not taking the hat off. I'm going to wear it to annoy every Tar Heel fan that walks in here. Congratulations, celebrate your win, North Carolina. We will see you on Saturday in the Men's College World Series for the first time, or in the finals for the first time since 2007. Let's get to this from Haddo really quick. Everyone knew that with NIL, there's going to be some sort of shady business going on, so this shouldn't be a surprise to everyone. They shove gambling down everyone's face all the time on TV. What do they expect to have happen? And yes, if Cincinnati is going to be held liable to some degree for this, then absolutely ESPN, Fox, etc. need to probably take a long, hard look in the mirror and say, is it worth it to us to lose one of college football's bigger stars? Again, deserved or not, what does it turn into? Plain and simple, Brendan Sorsby for this day and age of college football is a star. Not a superstar, not a first name, only sort of guy. Could be with another year of development, have to see. They might look in the mirror. I doubt that they do, but it does stand to reason, like Haddo was saying, that, maybe this isn't best for our product in the long term because, it's an infusion of cash right now, kind of like private equity would be to some of these schools, right? I think the gambling money can make that correlation there, but is it worth it for 5 to 10 years of revenue when in 15 years, the next crop of people that want to grow up playing or watching college football are disillusioned and disenchanted by this is the state of the game, this is what it's become? It would be slow crack, and then that foundation starts crumbling and the house is knocked over like it's a house of cards instead of a mansion.
Yeah, you always wonder what decision or what big, happening will be the one that, like the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
Where they just get together and they say, we're going to really reset this whole thing and try to get it going.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're just going to continue on every year. It's going to be a big story, let down. And then obviously it'll shed light on college football and nothing gets happened because everybody's got, money coming in both pockets and back pockets as well. So we shall see.
That we will. We will go ahead and take a break. 2086. Appreciate you texting in as well to everyone else who we were able to get to on our starter at Heyman Jewelers. Text line. Interesting conversation from Bill Simmons, obviously, with the Ringer. Jalen Brunson moved into his top 50 and maybe all time in terms of NBA players by virtue of being the best player on a title team. Who are some of the players that Jalen Brunson has moved in front of at the guard position? We'll pick Jay's brain on that. Yours as well, 402-464-5685. Join the conversation. We'll talk some NBA Finals aftermath next. You're on Old School.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking for a fresh new hangout spot? Let me tell you about Liquid Assets Sports Bar, where Mondays mean new weekly drink and food features. With 23 taps, a full lineup of cans and bottles, and 40 TVs blasting every sports package out there, you'll never worry about missing a play. Savor high-end spirits at their stylish top-shelf bar, enjoy a healthy menu, family-friendly atmosphere, and catch all of your favorite teams every day. Doors open daily at 11 a.m. Liquid Assets Sports Bar, located at 2755 Jamie Lane in South Lincoln.
Looking for the ultimate game day spot? Arbor Axe House has everything you need. Axe throwing, cold beers, and the big game. Whether you're celebrating a win or talking trash with friends, nothing beats the rush of sticking an axe while cheering on your favorite team. Perfect for bullseye beginners and seasoned pros. Our axe throwing experts keep the fun going and the drinks flowing. Step up to the plate at Arbor Axe House. Book a lane at arboraxe.com or call 402-802-9696. Arbor Axe House on the corner of N Street and Antelope Valley.
When Nebraska businesses win, we all win. And the Nebraska Chamber is helping make that happen. Tackling the tough stuff like job creation, affordable and accessible childcare, and building a stronger workforce. We're stepping up so local businesses can step forward. If you want to see Nebraska keep growing, keep competing, and keep winning, get connected with the Nebraska Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Learn more at nechamber.com.
Imagine if the people who work at your bank were neighbors who could help with a home loan.
Congratulations, you're approved.
Or friends who love to shop local.
Have a good one.
At UBT, who you work with matters just as much as what you're working toward.
Hey, thanks for helping.
That's why your money has more than a banker. It has people.
Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender. Member FDIC.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for their 14th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an exclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, they're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Looking to make a positive change? Do the extraordinary. Help others by helping research. We are seeking healthy adults ages 19 to 55 to join a research study at Solarion and help advance medical breakthroughs. Earn up to $500 a day while making a meaningful difference for others and for yourself. For more information, visit helpresearch.com/new or call 866-213-2965. Overnight stays and return visits may be required.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket.
That's right. Welcome back in to Old School, taking a hard left turn here and switching subject matters. If you need to start a new career, start something new as well, look at Schwezo Construction, where safety isn't just a policy, it's a promise. Schwezo is hiring skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, and steel erectors who value quality work and a team that has your back both on and off the job site. Apply today at schwezo.com, schwisow.com. 40-plus years strong in business, Schwezo Construction. Austin Orman and Jay Foreman with you. Jay, Bill Simmons doing it again, kind of stirring the pot a little bit, talking NBA. In light of the Knicks winning the NBA championship, known Celtics aficionado Bill Simmons said he moves Jalen Brunson ahead in his all-time rankings of players such as Steve Nash, Jason Kidd, Sam Jones, James Harden, George Gervin, and Luka Doncic.
I agree with some of them. Definitely not in front of George Gervin.
Okay. The Iceman?
Yeah.
Okay.
I could definitely in front of James Harden.
Okay. I can't do Nash yet.
I can't do Nash. I can because he won a championship, but Nash was so nasty.
And to be fair, that's Simmons' number one criteria. He's always ranked guys that are the best player in a championship team a little higher maybe than most people.
And I still don't.
But Cat was the best player all postseason. Brunson was the best player all year.
I wouldn't say Nash. Nash is hard. No, he's got to validate it.
2-time MVP.
He does it
against
next
Kobe,
year.
against Timmy, against Dirk.
They make a big run next year or something like that, or years, and it becomes a legacy for him.
Yeah.
All right, I can deal with it, right? Especially being in New York.
Sure.
And doing more with less.
Yeah. Does he pass Kidd?
What, just because he won a championship?
Simmons criteria. When would you take Jalen Brunson over Jason Kidd? Are there any situations you would rather have Jalen Brunson than Jason Kidd?
They're two different players.
They are.
So it's hard because Jason Kidd was defense and assists.
Yeah, fill the box score kind of guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like he'd be like
he was Diet Magic.
Yeah. This day and age, he'd kill it because it's so fast.
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't. I think Jalen Brunson is getting the benefit of being the best player on the team on a so-so regular season team, a team that when this team went and lost when Cat started to get busy.
Mm-hmm.
They gelled later, and he had that. Here's also, listen, if he continued to be the volume scorer, we're not having this conversation. The 45 burger that was efficient to put the dagger in the heart, was it? Mm-hmm. But without the tip into OG, we're waiting for another game. I'm not doing that. Luka, I'll give you past Luka right now. Because here's why I'll give you past Luka. Because homeboy Jalen Brunson was a problem in Dallas.
Correct.
And he's been a problem in New York, and he has a championship. That's the only way I'm going to give Luka, but it's yet to be determined. But right now, you just passed him because of the championship. It's not fair. It's not fair.
Let me just ask: Are you slapping the not a winner tag on Luka Doncic? Yes or no?
It's in my mind.
Okay. The same Luka Doncic who led the Dallas Mavericks to the Western Conference Finals, beat OKC, and made it to the championship, and they was outmatched.
And they beat my Timberwolves too.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
That's my thing where I want to give Jalen Brunson proper credit for being the season-long best player on the eventual championship team. Finished third in an improved East, I think, in a lot of ways. Different East this year than last year. Yeah. East is getting better. I would say even with the Tatum injury, he came back, played at the end of the year. They boat raced Boston. I don't want to sell Jalen Brunson short like we've done going back to Villanova, right? And I want to give him proper credit for the way, even when he wasn't scoring or was missing his shots, he was still in control of the game, much more so than De'Aaron Fox was for San Antonio on that end of things, or the young guards there. Even maybe in more control of the game for his team than Victor Wembanyama. You didn't see Brunson getting chippy or losing his mind, and I want to put what he did in proper context.
It's a great accomplishment.
But it's hard for me to say he's a better player in a vacuum than Luka Doncic. Yes, Jalen Brunson is 1-for-1 in final. Well, 1-for-2 now. Or was he on that finals team with? No, because they traded Kyrie for Kyrie.
Yeah.
So Jalen Brunson is 1-for-1 in his finals appearances. Luka is 0-for-1. I think that Jalen Brunson is probably a better fit for more teams because he can play off ball. Maybe I'm too much of a Luka guy, but I can't say that Jalen Brunson is a better basketball player than Luka Doncic. No. Is he more accomplished?
He's more
maybe he has one more ring, but he's not first team All NBA as much as Luka, not EuroLeague MVP as much as Luka.
But he's got national championship.
Yeah,
and
now NBA Finals.
Jalen Brunson, if you like skill set, you'd probably say Luka has more potential and skill.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson's a more valuable player because he's a better basketball player. He's a more heady player. He's a more reliable player.
Sure.
And he has more championship qualities right now than Luka. But I will say this. Luka's upbringing made him what I just described, right?
Yeah.
A young kid playing with pros. Mm-hmm. You saw the highlights, right? And that, man, he's great, 16, doing all this, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what Jalen Brunson had to go through allowed him to win that championship. And so it's just a difference of timing or where they are in a career. That's why I say it's yet to be determined. But right now, I feel like Jalen Brunson is a more valuable player.
Okay.
I wouldn't say he's a better basketball player. He's a better winner.
Sure.
And then also I think that right now with Jalen Brunson, just like a lot of you see it with NFL quarterbacks that have like a magical run. We saw it last year with Tyrese Halliburton. You get on that kind of, you play on a really good team, and then you get on a run, you hit a big shot. Remember, he hit a big shot, I think, to beat the Knicks, was it, in the playoffs? Halliburton, what's the last second shot he hit?
Oh, yeah, I think that was the Knicks, wasn't it?
right?
I think so, yeah.
But that game, he shot horrible. Or was
it Boston?
One of the, whatever it was, it wasn't, but he hit the shot.
Yeah, hit it.
So everybody's in that vacuum right there, right? So like what I mentioned with Jalen Brunson. So I'm not taking any away from anybody, but somebody, every time this happens, right, and especially with the Knicks, the history, and New York, the Mecca, Madison Square Garden, and the way that they were able to do it, the point guard is like the quarterback.
Yeah.
He's going to get way too much credit. But he's a really good player. I think he's an underrated player that's finally actually probably getting his just due. And so, you know what? More power to him.
Mm-hmm.
He's been overlooked his whole career, and all he's done is produce. So I'm going to give him that. Definitely not over Iceman, but you know, if you're gonna, here's the thing: I always push back on the championships. I do feel like to be in the GOAT conversation, you have to have championships and all that. It's just like with quarterbacks. If you're gonna try to tell me that Dan Marino isn't one of the top like 8 to 10 quarterbacks of all time because he didn't win a Super Bowl, well, then that means you're saying Brad Johnson and Trent Dilfer,
right?
Then
can't get there.
Then we can't talk, really, right? And so, I think Jalen Brunson's been long overdue for just due, and he's starting to get it. And if he gets a little bit more, so be it, because you know what, he's worked for it, and he's a heck of a player.
Yeah, and will he ever win NBA MVP? I doubt it.
Doubt it.
If he follows up this championship run, averaging 30 a game, and the Knicks win 60, there's a chance. But you'll still have Wemby, you'll still have Shea, you'll still have Luka.
It'll be in another year.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's fair.
He has to finish like second or third next year, and people will be upset. So
Sure,
say he averages 2 or 3 more points this year.
Yeah.
This coming year, and the Knicks are like win-loss, maybe better 4 games. But you know, look, they're the defending champs, and he has some huge games, say like on Christmas or whenever they are.
Yeah.
And then people like he should really be in consideration. Then he really wasn't, and then somebody else wins it, and then he does it again, following a good playoff run.
Yes.
Not a first-round exit, not a second-round exit where you don't lead in that crucial second round series and you don't close out a series.
Right.
Say you're up 3-1, you end up losing, or you're 2-2 and you don't play well in the next 2 games. If everything kind of rolls along with him, in 2 or 3 years, he definitely could be an MVP.
The last 4 years, Jalen Brunson has finished 12th, 5th, and 10th in NBA MVP voting. Did not get MVP votes this last season. Clutch Player of the Year, 5th, All-Star, and 2nd team All-NBA. A couple things to get to on our Starter Heyman Jewelers text line. Mr. Worldwide in Fallbrook says the Knicks had an easy playoff road. The Hawks, the Cavs, the Sixers, and a young, inexperienced Spurs team. Here's the thing. Atlanta was spicy throughout the regular season, and the first 3 games of that series were close before the Knicks were like, hey, we're not doing this anymore. Turned down the Jets. Yeah, they blew Philly out, and sure, Philly upsetting Boston went a long way, but okay, that's fine. Cleveland, they made look a lot more overmatched than I think Cleveland actually was. That, to me, is more on Cleveland than it was on New York.
That's on Kenny Atkinson.
It's fair, yeah.
And James Harden.
Yes, and yes, the Spurs were inexperienced, but they still took down the defending champions. They still won 60 games. Inexperience, experience, whatever. And so I, again, don't want to sell the Knicks championship short with saying, they had an easy road. The Knicks earned it. The Knicks made a lot of good teams look silly, and they took advantage of their breaks in terms of maybe the schedule in the postseason, if you want to say that. Certainly health, like we discussed previously as well. So I'm going to give the Knicks credit for playing their best basketball at the best time, led by the best playoff run of Karl-Anthony Towns' life. He might never have a run like this again, but again, they capitalized on it, and they used it to win the title.
That's the only way that they were going to win is Karl-Anthony Towns, started to play to what everybody wanted him to play since he came in the league. And actually what Minnesota needed is him to play like that. He'd probably still be in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And the Knicks wouldn't even be in a thought because they would still have Julius Randle. So, look, Jalen Brunson is going to be the topic. Everybody, you could say, it's always funny when people say, oh, well, you had an easy road. Look, you're the world champion.
Right.
And I know, like, people with the bubble. Look, you're a world champion. Look, you play who's on your schedule. Just because you swept the 76ers, that's not your fault.
Yeah, right.
You beat the brakes. And listen, you beat the brakes off of them.
Yeah.
Right? then you double down. So we're gonna beat the brakes off of Cavaliers too, who probably really going in that series. You felt like the Cavaliers had more juice.
Sure.
Right? You got Spider, James Harden, you got Allen,
Mobley.
and Mobley. And then you got all Strauss and all those other dudes. But guess what? The better team won. And then the same thing with the series. You can talk about inexperience all you want. It's always funny. People talk about inexperience when you lose.
Right.
You know? So, look, it's always going to be excuse why you win or excuse why you lose at the end of the day. The Knicks were the better team. They were the tougher team. And it was led by Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns. They were way more connected. They were physically imposing on them, and they had way more experience. And that's no different. I mean, it is what they are. The world champs. Don't take nothing away from them. Is it an all-time great team?
Probably not.
No, but there's plenty of world champs that in every sport that aren't all-time greats. When you win it, doesn't mean you're an all-time great.
Right.
You know, or like I always talk about Jason White, that won the Heisman Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Is he one of the top 10 Heisman winners of all time? No, but he won the Heisman.
He might not be top 75 Heisman winners of all time.
But he won the Heisman.
He did.
So that year, he was voted as the best player or the Heisman winner. So you just got to take it for what it's worth.
My dad said something very similar on the Starter Heyman Jewelers text line. Ranking players based partially on whether or not they won a championship fails to take into account the competition. The Knicks won, but the Spurs aren't one of the best teams of all time either. So many teams and players never won a title because they played at the same time as Jordan, Kobe, Magic, Bird, etc. Your Marino point comes to mind. Tom Brady point comes to mind in the NFL, where Roethlisberger got one. Peyton got one really in the peak Brady era, and then had to win another one with Denver before, of course, Brady came back for him. But Charles Barkley didn't get one. The Rockets managed to get a couple when Jordan was retired, but those Magic teams, those Pacers teams, those Knicks teams, etc., didn't get any. A couple more names I want to bring up with you, though, in terms of all-time players. Would you rather have Jalen Brunson or Tony Parker?
Man, I like Tony Parker, man.
People forget.
He was cold-blooded. I take Tony Parker. Here's why I take Tony Parker. Because before he even got his credit, he was playing championship basketball. He was so efficient. I'm taking Tony Parker.
Okay. Jalen Brunson or Dwayne Wade?
Oh, Dwayne Wade, because he's a killer.
Jalen Brunson's not?
Not like D. Wade.
Jalen Brunson is better than Dwayne Wade ever was offensively. But Dwayne Wade was a special defensive guard at his peak.
Yeah. And a big game player, too.
Jalen Brunson or Reggie Miller?
Man.
Different players, obviously, not the same exact comparison.
Right. It's hard to pass up Reggie.
But was Reggie ever the best player in a title team? Did Reggie initiate offense like Jalen Brunson does?
I'll take Jalen Brunson.
Wow. Okay. I didn't mean to talk you into him, but
I'll take Reggie at Game 7. He got to put a dagger in your heart, though. Yeah.
2. Guess who? The Knicks.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to do it.
Yeah. Reggie's he's tough to deal with.
Mud Dog, Jalen Brunson or Allen Iverson?
I'll take. If I'm starting, I'll take Brunson.
Okay.
Iverson's the better player, more exciting and all that. I'm trying to win a championship.
This is slightly off topic from Jalen Brunson, but I saw someone, I don't know if they were joking or not, tweet out that Kevin Durant is Carmelo Anthony 2.0 if he doesn't get the rings.
Kevin Durant is George Gervin, and he's Kevin. Yeah, he's Carmelo. He's all of them. He's Adrian Dantley before he goes to the Pistons.
Yeah.
He's Reggie Theus. He's all these dudes. Orlando Woolridge, all those guys. Yeah.
So selling his soul to go join Golden State was an incredible legacy move.
It was a smart move because he knew he had to get that out of the way so people couldn't mess with him about it.
Fair.
And I think the devastation of losing 3-1 to the Golden State Warriors probably is something that he never wanted to come back and face.
College Jalen Brunson or college Kemba Walker?
It's hard because Kemba went on that run. I remember when Wally Zerbiak went up. Remember when Wally Zerbiak went on his run?
Oh, yeah.
And Kemba Walker's run this is from the Big East tournament.
Yeah.
It didn't stop.
No.
And his run continued probably after the season when he was at the Lifetime Fitness and was giving every little business. I'm going to go Kemba Walker, man.
I think Jalen Brunson had a better college career than Kemba did. But Jalen Brunson obviously won the title with Nova. He didn't win it like that. It's hard to pick between the two. I still think Jalen Brunson had a more well-rounded, consistent college career than Kemba did. But Kemba's the bigger college icon / legend, whoever you want to define it.
Yeah, because of what he did, and obviously the Big East tournament. And look, when this is also when you think about the award or what Jalen Brunson's getting right now. When you're consistent versus like in the vacuum of right now, it's a lot different. So Jalen Brunson, I still don't think people realize how good he is.
He's legit. Oh, yeah.
He's a problem.
Yeah. And it's funny that he's playing in New York and we still don't realize.
You still don't realize it. And he's
is that because the best players are A, international, and B, wings / bigs outside of Shea?
Yes, and he's not very
he's not Ant.
He's not a very outgoing. He doesn't have that personality. He's not a self-promoter and all that stuff. So I think that's also parts of it too. And
again, he was like Rick, his dad is a Knicks guy. Like Jalen Brunson was raised on the hatred for these teams. Was around when the Knicks swept the Spurs, right? Like he should be the chosen one, the Messiah that's been lifted up on this pedestal. And maybe he is in New York more than I give him credit for. But it's funny that the greater NBA conversation isn't more about how Jalen Brunson essentially did the Bryce Harper thing in some ways for New York, but isn't given credit for it. Maybe because he wasn't drafted.
He should be looked at as the king of New York, and be treated as such. But I don't think that's his personality, and I don't even think you got to remember when they signed him as a free agent, it really wasn't a bunch of hoopla. They were like, is he really worth that much?
Right.
Dallas let him go. He really isn't that good. So I think he's kind of always been fighting that his whole career. And then I think he just likes what he likes, and he's very humble in the way he goes about it.
I think that's fair. Mr. Worldwide in Fallbrook, appreciate you texting in again. Corroborate Mud Dog, my dad, 3027, 2086, and plenty more texting in to Old School. You can be a part of the conversation as we continue. Another segment, another hour from Blur right after this.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Looking to make a positive change? Do the extraordinary. Help others by helping research. We are seeking healthy adults ages 19 to 55 to join a research study at Solarion and help advance medical breakthroughs. Earn up to $500 a day while making a meaningful difference for others and for yourself. For more information, visit helpresearch.com/new or call 866-213-2965. Overnight stays and return visits may be required.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com. Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old-fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Nebraska volleyball season is months away, but you have the opportunity to meet two stars of the team in person. Insight Partners is hosting their Better Together Bash on Thursday, June 25th from 5:30 to 7 p.m., featuring a meet and greet with Nebraska volleyball stars Andy Jackson and Bergen Riley. It's a family fun evening with photos, games, autographs, and limited edition merch. Bring the family down for a great time at the Insight Partners Better Together Bash on Thursday, June 25th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. in the Rail Yard.
Championship season is here, and when it comes to buying a home, having the right team matters too. Ethan Fernandez with Lincoln Federal Savings Bank helps home buyers step up to the plate with local guidance and mortgage process designed to keep things moving. Get started today at efernandez.lincolnfed.com. Lincoln Federal Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing leader.
Looking for the ultimate game day spot? Arbor Axe House has everything you need. Axe throwing, cold beers, and the big game. Whether you're celebrating a win or talking trash with friends, nothing beats the rush of sticking an axe while cheering on your favorite team. Perfect for bullseye beginners and seasoned pros. Our axe throwing experts keep the fun going and the drinks flowing. Step up to the plate at Arbor Axe House. Book a lane at arboraxe.com or call 402-802-9696. Arbor Axe House on the corner of N Street and Antelope Valley.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today. We'll see lots of sunshine. It'll be windy and warm with an afternoon high around 91. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a continued breeze below around 63. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return with a light breeze, a little cooler. An afternoon high near 82. I'm meteorologist Kyle Hucker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Anderson Ford, we offer a 5-day return or exchange policy, so you can make sure the vehicle you choose is the best vehicle for you. No pressure. Right now, lease a 2026 Ford F-150 for $198 per month for 36 months. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1008623, $198 per month lease for 36 months with approved credit, 7,500 miles per year, 14,000 with signing. No security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 7/6/26.
Hi, it's Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC in Louisville. Koppel is proud to be the highest rated GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln areas based on Google reviews. Right now, get 0% financing for 60 months on new Silverado and Sierra 1500 models. But hurry, the 0% financing offer won't last long. Visit us in Louisville or check us out online at koppelcars.com.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket.
That's right. Welcome back in. It is Old School. Austin Orman, Jay Foreman with you. Show brought to you by the good folks over at Graham Tire Company. Don't forget, for the next hour, we are still out here at Bloor. Might be sticking around a little bit longer, getting you set for Georgia and Oklahoma in the nightcap. Oklahoma, the undefeated team there on the top of the bracket. The Dogs, Georgia, will have to knock off Oklahoma twice in order to advance. And winner of the bottom bracket will face off against North Carolina in the Men's College World Series Finals for the first time since 2007. You can get your tickets for the rest of the night or for Saturday by going to blurevents.com/Omaha. Definitely try to get those tickets ahead of time, as they will sell out pretty quickly. Again, 3 different levels of packages when it comes to ways you can get in the door. All of them get you in the door past the bouncers here at Blur. Once you upgrade your levels, just kind of changes what level of drink package you get. That's really the big difference there. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman with you here for Old School coming up in just a sec. We'll have our third hour. Saw this, Jay, through yesterday's games. 4 teams in baseball, the Dodgers, Yankees, Braves, and Brewers have a plus 480 run differential. The other 26 teams have combined for minus 480. And here's the thing, of course, it's always going to even out to 0 in terms of run differential. But I think it's interesting. You get Dodgers, big money, Yankees big money, Braves bounce back in relatively big money, in the Brewers, who survived the Cubs' 10-game winning streak. It really took off as the Cubs went on a 10-game losing streak. That those 4 teams have an average run differential of plus 120 about 70, 75 games into the season, while the rest of baseball, 26 teams, are that far underneath as a whole.
Yeah, it's crazy when you have 4 teams and obviously 3, big market teams in Milwaukee, small market, and they're running the league right now. Mm-hmm. And so the 3 that the big market you expected, right?
Yeah.
They sprint freely, especially the Yankees and Dodgers. Mm-hmm. And Atlanta kind of picks and chooses. And obviously, I think they were sparked after they lost Freeman. But, with the Milwaukee, I think they've been quietly consistent for some time. And obviously, I think, with that park, I think they do well and score and stuff like that. But it's a notice to the rest of the league, though.
Yeah.
You're slacking. And,
sure.
Look, things will start to even out, maybe at a later date. But obviously, you see, there's some domination going on right now.
There sure is. The Brewers are what gives me hope as a Royals fan that there can be something more, something a little bit better out there. You mentioned we did at the end of the first hour the College Football Playoff Committee having meetings just to have meetings. Major League Baseball still doesn't have a lot of progress. We had the first initial kind of exchange of proposals for the new CBA that's going to expire after the season is done in December. But here we are in June and still really no movement as Major League Baseball is in a prime opportunity to waste a growing moment over a labor dispute.
Yeah, where's Tony Clark when you need him? We know exactly where he's at. He's
right, with his sister-in-law.
He's there, over there, or he's inside. But ultimately, this is part of negotiations, and that's what happens. Nothing moves fast, and then you kind of play cat and mouse for a little bit. And you get to the 23rd hour, cooler heads, come to pass, and then obviously a deal gets done. So right now, it's the finger pointing part of it.
Sure.
You're not negotiating. You're the reason why we're not getting the deal. Then it's doing it back and forth. And finally you get together and say, you know what? The same deal that we kind of balked at the very beginning is the same one that we'll probably sign and kind of work from there. So it doesn't surprise me. I don't know how these like 4 major sports or any get to this point.
Yeah.
Because you're making money. Now, granted, baseball's different, and players are definitely, way ahead of all the other leagues as far as the benefits that they get and the piece of the pie. But it's a little surprising that we got to the final year. We've done the whole thing that we're negotiating hard. Let's get it done.
Right. Find a way to capitalize again on the growth and momentum that the baseball's had over the last couple of years. He's Blackshirt Jay Foreman. I'm Austin Norman. We'll be back hour 3 of Old School live from Blur Events at 10th and Cass. That's coming your way next.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, take the worm, put it on the hook. Now bring your pole back and throw it forward. And just let the fish come to you.
It's a big one, Dad. Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
Championship season is here, and when it comes to buying a home, having the right team matters too. Ethan Fernandez with Lincoln Federal Savings Bank helps homebuyers step up to the plate with local guidance and mortgage process designed to keep things moving. Get started today at efernandez.lincolnfed.com. Lincoln Federal Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing leader.
At Anderson Ford, we offer a 5-day return or exchange policy, so you can make sure the vehicle you choose is the best vehicle for you. No pressure. Right now, lease a 2026 Ford F-150 for $198 per month for 36 months. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1008623, $198 per month lease for 36 months with approved credit, 7,500 miles per year, 14,000 with signing. No security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 7/6/26.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, it's Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC in Louisville. Koppel is proud to be the highest rated GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln areas based on Google reviews. Right now, get 0% financing for 60 months on new Silverado and Sierra 1500 models. But hurry, the 0% financing offer won't last long. Visit us in Louisville or check us out online at koppelcars.com.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Building a new home can be a challenge, a lot of big choices. With our Remington homes, we have designed 15 different floor plans that appeal to a wide range of people.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, talking about Remington Homes, which makes the home building process easier.
People really enjoy being able to go to our website, which is remingtonlincoln.com, pick a plan, pick a price point, go through and build it yourself. You have a lot of options, whether you want granite, painted trim, wood floors, more stone, all options with our Remington homes. People do not want to be married to their house payment. You're able to get what you really want in a home for a great price with very limited stress. And that's what Remington homes are all about.
Home building is easier with a Remington home from Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at remingtonlincoln.com. remingtonlincoln.com.
Hey, Nebraska sports fans. This summer, professional tennis returns to Lincoln. Watch rising stars of the ATP Tour compete for over $100,000 in prize money for the 2026 Lincoln Challenger from July 12th to the 19th at the Sid and Hazel Dillon Tennis Center. Witness top tennis pros compete right here in Lincoln and experience tennis close-up like never before. To purchase tickets or to sign up for volunteer opportunities, please visit www.lincolnchallenger.com. Not just a stop, a stage. Lincoln Challenger 2026.
Your number one dad may not need another tie or coffee mug, but he always needs a little more award-winning barbecue from Hog Wild. Give Dad a meal fit for the king of your castle this Father's Day with Hog Wild's hearty, family-pleasing menu. Our meaty ribs, tender beef brisket, pulled pork, and hot links pair perfectly with our home-style sides. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Looking for the right utility tractor for your acreage? Find it at Landmark Implement. Shop our selection of used John Deere compact tractors from 1 through 5 series with the power and versatility to track mowing, yard work, snow removal, and more. For a limited time, get 2.9% financing for 36 months, followed by 6.2 for 24 months with approved credit. We've got the right fit for your property and your budget. Stop by your local Landmark Implement or visit us online at landmarkimp.com today and experience the Landmark difference.
Ever look at your house and think, ouch, it's stuck in the past? Or realize that your kitchen needs a new everything? Like thousands of homeowners, you can simply call SprayNet Lincoln. Their patented spray system and paint delivers a flawless factory finish, no mess, done in a day, and cost-effective. It looks just like new, including your vinyl. And it's all backed by their 15-year no-peel warranty. SprayNet Lincoln, custom chemistry and smarter painting. Google SprayNet Lincoln or call them now at 402-383-3336 or email ching@spray-net.com.
Coming at you live from the heart of downtown Lincoln, this is Old School with Foreman and Orman. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Here's Troy Detmer dropping straight back in the pocket. Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score! Woo! Foreman got it, and it's touchdown Huskers.
Black shirts, answer the call one more time.
And Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman is sponsored by Graham Tire Company of Lincoln, your tire store next door with 4 Lincoln locations. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? You heard that right. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman. We're live in effect out here at Blur Tailgate at the Hilton, right off of 11th and Cass Street. We're open up here. We are up here, till 10 p.m. Doors open every day up until the 20th from 10:30 a.m. to midnight. It's the vibe in here is obviously picked up for the game tonight. And before we get into that, we want to thank Graham Tire of Lincoln for their support. Graham Tire has been serving the Midwest for 75 years, 4 locations in Lincoln. Look them up, GrahamTireofLincoln.com, and tell them Austin or Jay sent you, and they'll definitely hook you up. But, Austin, before we get into some more subjects, we've been graced by the man of the day, not even of the hour. You know what I'm saying?
Man of the week, man of the weekend.
The man of the week, the man of the last 72 hours, the man of the last week, Nick Sainert, has announced that he's leaving us, then has decided that he's too cool to finish things. We always talk about finish in football. Ask him, I'm a little parched for some water. Said, nope, I'm not hooking you up anymore. We're not co-partners anymore. We spent a lot of time together.
A lot of time.
Well, homeboy couldn't rent a car. Who rented a car?
Jay
Yours
Foreman
truly.
rented a car.
You know what I'm saying? Showed him how to travel. Now he's upgrade. And now he's going on to bigger and better things. And we can't even get his big head to come on our show. But that's all good. He's coming here to bless us with his presence. So I want to let everybody know Nick Sainert is in the building, but he's not on stream.
And despite everything you said, we will still miss him.
Oh, for sure. Look, man, I mean, I always say people confuse movement and progress, and Nick has steadily progressed in his tenure here at the station. Was there before, as an intern, and obviously once he started to kind of produce and do some different things, he expanded, his horizons, from calling plays, producing, on-air talent. Does a lot of stuff was outside of it, as far as emceeing and stuff. So, look, man, for a 25-year-old, what he's been able to accomplish is obviously part of why today is, look, we're sad that he's leaving, but I think it's more of a celebration. When perfect example, you got a will, there's a way, and then when you go and work at it and you embrace it, you're going to be successful.
Pre-game at the Kindler's not going to hit the same.
No.
High school football's not going to hit the same.
No.
Basketball's
not going to hit
baseball's not going to hit the same.
Since you said that, I didn't even realize it. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, Jay.
Now look at him. He's gone. Look at him. He's leaving.
Maybe he's going to get you a drink. Let's give him a chance.
Or he just got emotional. He knows that Kindler pregame, that was it in the heat, in the Sudan heat over there when it was cold. High school football games, the high school basketball games.
Survived a near plane jacking and on the way back in Bloomington.
Yeah, with no streets. That's why I hope and pray he has more streets. And then the state championship basketball.
Media days in Vegas.
Yeah, media days in Vegas. And then I tried to teach him everything, tried to give him the Steven money management. Now he just said, you know what, man, I'm done with messing with you, man.
Or maybe he said, you've taught me everything you know. I'm going to take that advice.
Yeah.
And in the words of Chris Raff, fly high.
Yeah, man. I heard that hurts my heart, man. My man just left us like that, man. But no,
he'll be back. He can't stay away.
All jokes aside, though, look, man, he's doing, he's done some great things. He's going to be great. It's a big challenge for him. Look, we spend a lot of time together. You don't realize that, when you do stuff like this, how much you, I wouldn't say take for granted, but, you're like, hey, look, we're doing high school, be your post game or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You guys always, you filling in on the drive. It just happens, man. And look, he's gonna go off and do great things, just like everybody's doing. No different than if you continue along what you're doing, and you get a great opportunity. You always be happy for people that obviously is well deserved.
Oh, absolutely. It's a great reminder that the way things are is not the way things always need to be.
Yeah.
Right? It's not Nick or anyone messing with a good thing. I'm happy for Nick. I'm proud of Nick. I haven't known him quite as long as you have, but getting to know him this last 3.5 years. Excited for what comes next from, honestly, truly, right? It's a sad day for the ticket. I think it can also be a happy day with everything that Nick did, being able to put himself in position to take the next step. Obviously, I'm going to say, is this a step up for us? Probably not for him. He views it as one, and we're proud of him. We're happy for him.
Yeah.
We're rooting for him, and I'm absolutely the worst at keeping in touch with now former coworkers. Because here's the thing: he's not getting on the show, and so because of that, he's a former coworker. He's done, right? He's turning in the keys. The desk is all clean, and I can promise you, Nick's going to be a former coworker that I keep in touch with.
Yeah, man. You know what? I'm gonna still text him in the morning and mess with him. I don't really care. and you know what I'm saying? And he can get mad and stuff like that. He's all grown up now, man. He got a big boy job and stuff. He can boost up a little bit. You look, man, you can't be more happy for it. I look at it like when somebody goes in the transfer portal and it works out for the university and it works out for the kid as well. So, I don't think there's any negative to it. And Nick's earned it. And now he's on to another challenge. And then we have the challenge now, or, the powers that be have a challenge now to find somebody that can come in and complement everybody else the way that Nick's been able to complement everybody in different roles. Right. And so, what I mean by that is, you can kind of plug and play Nick in a lot of places, and he kind of always figured it out and made it happen. So whoever is going to come in or steps into that role, no matter who it is, or if there's different people in different roles, they got a big shoes to fill, because when you're able to transition and make different moves and stuff and make it very smooth, it's the value you can't put a dollar amount on it.
Yeah, no, you can't. It's one of those things that we're going to have to adapt and adjust, right? It's a new world starting as early as tomorrow on the drive officially. And so I'm not sure how much has been announced on that front. So I'll hold off in case we don't have the full lineup given out there. But, I'm sure AD's going to be in a different mood for a couple weeks. I hope he's able to snap out of it. I'm sure the drive will continue to be great even without Nick being there. But, yeah, no, it's I don't know what else I can say. I've said a lot to him. And we've all had our own conversations about it too, but it's been a blast, it's been an honor, it's been a privilege, and it's going to be different.
Yeah.
You got to deal with it.
Yeah. I mean, it's no different than like, I was in the NFL and you're, become friends with a guy, maybe we're in the same draft class and one guy ends up going on and he goes on to be successful.
Or maybe someone gets traded to Houston or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
just for an example.
Yeah. I mean, I had a couple guys that I considered my best friends that were on that team. And it was tough, but it was business. We're still friends now. I just talked to Sean today on the way up here. So, look, it's not gonna stop. It can get even better. So, we want to give him his just due just because he walked in, he made the effort coming up in here to see us and hang out with us for a little bit, and we appreciate that all that.
We do always have, always will.
Yeah. But needless to say, though, one thing I wanted to talk to you about, Austin, is that Nebraska got another commit, another corner.
Mm-hmm.
And so they've kind of been bouncing around everywhere. Big, it sounds like a pretty, long corner. Fits it, Big Ten style. Obviously needs to get a little bit, bigger as far as, we're talking about, Jalen Hill. He's a 4-star kid. And he got picked over 2 schools that are known for corners.
Yeah.
So there's 2 ways to look at it. Does the school that you're evaluating get guys and develop them, or you look at who are they recruiting or who do they get him over? And so when you look at, he had a chance and it came down to Indiana and Washington. Those 2, especially Washington, 2 guys that they're drafted in the NFL. One that we were able to talk to at the Big Ten Media Days.
Yeah.
All a 6'4", fits their profile really well. So it's a big get on both areas for Nebraska. Who a Big Ten opponent or potential opponent didn't get, and then who we got and what they can do with it.
Yeah, in either order, right? Keeping him out of someone else's program and the rest of the Big Ten is good, but landing the player himself also seems promising. The biggest part, I think, for me, Jay, is where he came from. St. John Bosco kid, right? Yeah. Being there in that league out there in California, he's going to be battle-tested. He's going to be proven. And sure, could he put some weight on the frame? Absolutely. Yeah. Are there ways he can improve? Absolutely. Number 34 corner, I believe it is, in his class. So, pretty highly rated, pretty well thought of. Obviously, the burden of proof now goes to Addison Williams to get the best out of him, to Jalen Hill to get the best out of himself. But Nebraska is not often in with players from these big-time high school programs, which, again, where you come from isn't anything, right? We know about guys from Ainsworth, that have played a role at Nebraska, and Carter Nelson, so on and so forth. But I don't think it can hurt Nebraska to get a player from a winning program in the door, right? Will one defensive back be able to change the culture? No, probably not. Right. But if he brings that winning mentality and he's able to spark, Trey Taylor, for example, if he's down in the dumps and not having his best day, whatever, well, then, hey, there's that high school training at St. John Bosco playing off. And I know you've said it, you learn to win. And we're better to learn to win before college than high school. That's the only place you can learn to win. I don't care if you win a 7-on-7 tournament. I don't care if you win Elite 11 MVP as much as I care about, did you come from a winning program in high school? Do you have that in your DNA? And even if you're still growing and developing in that, have you proven you can at least be part of a winning team? Play your role, do your job. And it's obviously not a given that he's going to be successful at the next level. But I think it's a good sign that Nebraska is able to be in, conversations with guys from Bosco, et cetera, to get that sort of winning DNA more and more ingrained in the program.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a big step for Trey Taylor to come up here to Millard South, and they've produced players, won back-to-back state championships, and so it's good for him to kind of get into, Nebraska and what you got to do to win and at the high school level. Learning how to win is something that you always are adding towards, and so once you kind of get that drug of winning, it should always just kind of push you moving forward. So St. John Bosco is a national powerhouse that put a ton of guys at the major college level, guys in the pros. And so you're trusting the pedigree. But, not only is that pedigree got to be good, you got to trust the recruiting process, the evaluation and all that, how he fits into your program.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, you got to give kudos to Addison Williams. Obviously, you were able to get Odom last year, right? A big part of when Matt Rule kind of announced some staff changes. Addison Williams was one of the guys that said it's for sure staying based on, his recruitment, and he's doing it again. So Addison Williams is showing up as a great recruiter and a developer of players. Look, this is a whole new type of deal right here, right? Sierra Wright's gone, Buford's gone, a lot of the guys
Singleton's
gone. So a lot of the guys that were like either holdovers or at the very end of Frost or new kind of like, 2 or 3 guys, 2 or 3 new guys, 2 or 3 year guys with Matt Rule are all gone. This is all it's all going to be new. This is going to be kind of like the new shape of the program. How do we recruit it? How we developed, and who are these players, and are they playmakers? You'll be able to go back and say, hey, for Hill, say we're in 2028. Okay, we recruited him in 26. He came in, 27, played a little bit. 28, does he make that big pop? Is he worth that 4-star? So now we can kind of maybe project what we see in the future from other guys from his high school or his area. Also, those kids in that same area can expect things. If it goes well with him, they can come to Nebraska. It's not as far to fly from California to Nebraska and go to school if there's 2 or 3 guys that have had good experiences. And so, it's a unique time, as far as roster management, production, schedule's hard, and then obviously recruiting is definitely huge.
Well, Nebraska going to both coasts for potential CB1s of the future. You think about, Jalen Hill right now out of California, but guy that's on the roster already, Danny Odom, out of Florida. So Nebraska's been to both coasts there on the outside for corner. And then in the middle of the field at safety, you think about Nebraska in 27 still pursuing Torrey Pittman, who's committed to Nebraska. They're fighting off all sorts of suitors,
LSU,
Miami, LSU, Tennessee for him. But there's a guy already on the field that had his ups and downs, but you expect as a freshman, in Rex Guthrie.
Yeah.
Is he in the Austin Cassidy mold, right?
Yeah,
the Matt O'Hanlon sort of mode.
Where does he fit in next year?
Right.
And what is he like? That's a huge, it's a great point. Because you got to think you have emergence of like Caleb Benning. You have McDougal coming in. So he's starting.
Marshall will be gone.
Marshall will be gone. But I'm talking about
this year.
Just at the safety position.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Right? So you got Benning, McDougal. You have
Guthrie, who we just mentioned.
Right, where he fits in. You got number 12 that started from Georgia. Well, I forget his name.
Oh, Justin Rhett. Yep.
And then you have a couple other guys. Was it Khan?
Jameer Khan played a lot of nickel.
Nickel, could play safety, played all over.
Yeah.
Does Guthrie take that huge step? No more are you a freshman and you're learning. Right now, the expectations are you're a totally different player physically, mentally, and production-wise. So the most pressure is on him. McDougal knows the defense. He's been productive consistently at this level.
Yeah.
And Rob Orich trusts him. And then you have Caleb Benning that played a decent game in the bowl game, pretty good in the bowl game, was very active, was out there, looked like the guy that was out there wanted to be one of the guys wanted to be there.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have Guthrie that was banged up. And so how much improvement has he made versus the consistent improvement of guys like Caleb Benning? Then you think about Rhett. Does he take a huge step to use his skill set, which is his potential that gets him on the field first? Does that lead to playmaking ability? So as much as you might have played last year, you could be on the outside looking in or on a little bit lower, rep count, considering 2 things. You haven't leveled up to the level that other guys have, and that level up by other guys has kind of eaten into some of your plays.
Where are some of the key aspects Nebraska's safety play specifically needs to improve under Rob Orich from where it was under John Butler? What do those guys got to get better at?
Well, I think number one, I think the difference in the coordinators and systems, I think you won't be left out on an island and exposed, right? Where you're in space. There's wide gaps with running backs with 2-way goes, and nobody performs that well.
No.
Troy Polamalu and those guys do, but they're in Canton. So I think just that on that alone, you should see better safety play. You have McDougal that knows the system, is a leader, he has to be productive. He has to be your field general. He has to be your on-time playmaker. He has to be your leader. And then for the other guys, I want to see better tackling, right? I want to see
Guthrie really struggled at that, as did Buford toward the end
later
of the
this
year.
season, and I want to see physicality from game 1 to game 12, and I want to see playmaking ability. I want to see them make plays when if I'm ever to watch the coaches tape that don't show up in the stat sheet. I want to see game-winning plays, right? Yeah. Game-winning effective plays. And you can
It might be little plays, right? It might not be the ankle tackle like you're talking about, the two-way go.
Do you fill the alley to the point that it makes another offensive blocker come off on you so your partner in crime can make a tackle for loss? You know, all of those things right now are most important, and that's what they're hopefully trying to implement, you know, from spring ball on to now is we have to play better as a team. The safeties can't play better unless our linebackers play better. We cannot afford to have huge holes in two-way goes, and I call it free release into, you know, easy or direct access to our safeties, which is at the third level.
Yeah.
No defense plays well like that. And the best defenses don't do it. If you look at Ohio State with Caleb Downs, you're able to do more things with guys like him. So if it's a Guthrie or McDougal or whoever, the better that the first and second level are playing because everybody knows the system. So it's not just the safety position. It's holistically as a defense. We got to generate pass rush without having to blitz. We have to be able to set the edge without having to essentially bring a cat blitz, which is a corner blitz and stuff like that. You have to be able to do the things that are simple, but you got to make them look extraordinary. And you got to hammer it home. The guys have got to want to do it. Look, the coaches aren't saying, hey, we don't need to set the edge. We'll worry about that tomorrow. I guarantee you stopping the run is at the top of their priority list. Creating pass rush is one, who you are as a player. It's coaching. But thirdly, what do you do to make yourself into a pass rusher? How much are you really working on your skill? And once you make that decision, then good things generally happen.
Well, I think the other part of that, too, is how often do you put yourself in positions to rush the passer?
Right.
Because there have been so many guys at Nebraska that I think have more potential to rush the passer than we've seen.
One, third and two.
Yeah, right. I mean, third and five. Kind of felt like third and a mile at sometimes, you know, in terms of what Nebraska was facing. And then you do get into pass rush situation. And I'm sure every, you know, fan of every team feels like their team gives up too many conversions on, you know, 3rd and 7 plus. Kind of felt like Nebraska did. And some of that I want to pin on the defensive backfield for not creating more havoc plays, right? For maybe not being quite as sticky. But you bring up a good point in that they can't do their job as effectively as on a consistent basis without the front six having done their job, whether it's in the 4-2 alignment that we think Rob Borch is going to have, the 3-3 that we talked about a lot that looked like a 4-2. Go back and listen to Old School if you're still complaining about the 3-3-5 last year, right?
Hey,
you can find the old episodes, but either way.
The first big rushing game that we give up, we should have went back to the 3-3-5.
Why'd we ever switch?
Yeah, where's
Tony White had it down.
Yeah.
But I think it's all fair game because I think the secondary was fine last year. Didn't blow me away. Wasn't overly impressive. Weren't always put in the best situations to succeed either.
Yeah, I think the best way that you can play defense is that you gotta, like, if you really do a good job stopping the run, you will be a good team on third down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You'll be able to blitz freely. You'll be able to dictate the playbook. You'll be able to do a whole bunch of things that you normally wouldn't be able to do if you're always kind of like playing defense. You know, you're always like in backpedal mode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Best defenses are going forward and really setting the pace and resetting the line of scrimmage. And so stopping the run and being more disciplined. Look, you're going to play against good offensive running teams. And stopping the run, this is where also fans get in trouble. They think in this day and age, you're just going to stop people and have like 2 yards rushing.
Nope.
You got, number one, you can't give up explosive plays in the run game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I also think a good measuring stick is, hey, how about let's change our, I guess, definition of an explosive run. So I think it's 20 yards.
A pass is 20, a run is 12.
Okay, well, no, let's take that thing down to 8, right? Because you're going to see more 8-yard runs than 12.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And now if you're seeing a whole bunch of 12, don't even worry about it. You ain't played good. So let's get it down to 8. Why is that? That is going to up the standard, right? It's going to put the emphasis on the little things. And if you're able to kind of like operate at 8, you're way ahead of majority of the college football because.
Well, if it happens on first down, you give yourself 2 more chances to get a stop. You make them earn it. You know, if you give them 12, there's a free first down.
Right, and then you're like, all right, then that kind of softens your standard because you're like, oh, all right, we're starting over with another 4 downs. Well, no, you just gave up an explosive run that destroys you mentally, both offensively and defensively, and the coaches on the sideline. Now everybody's starting to guess, and now you're dealing with the ghost of the past. Keep it at 8 yards or lower because if you're really good up front, you don't have to worry about that, no matter who you're playing.
Right. Before we go to break, I want to get to this from Big Bird. He throws Donovan Jones into the mix from our conversation before.
But he kind of has been everywhere.
And see, that's the thing. I get positional flexibility. I like it in theory. It hasn't worked as well for Nebraska, whether that's the players or the coaching or some combination thereof. I've been on the train to move Donovan Jones to the back end, even further, right? Put him at safety. Is there a world in which he could be an Isaac Gifford-esque nickel? Maybe, maybe not. It's not that Donovan Jones is a terrible outside corner. I just don't think he's fast enough to hang. It's a bigger body out there as well, which if he had the quick hips and the better feet, maybe. I'm just not sure he's there yet. So I think Nebraska is going to give him a shot outside first. Maybe you have a better sense of that than I do. But I've been team move Donovan Jones to safety or at least nickel in some sort of can he be poor man's Derwin James against good tight ends in the Big Ten? We just haven't seen Nebraska do that consistently yet.
Yeah, I don't know where they're going to have him at.
He'll play.
Right. Yeah, he'll play. He's a good football player, number one. I mean, he's one of your top 11 football players. And so he's going to be on the field. And sometimes that hurts you because it's almost like with Travis Hunter. You got him over at receiver, you got him playing DB, and then you're like, well, he's not good at anything. Well, you got to really let him hone in and learn the position, whatever he's at. So if you think he's an outside corner, or if you think eventually he's going to be safety, then move him back there right now and let him go get busy because he'll pick it up pretty fast, and he's shown the willingness to make tackles. So, I just think it's with him, he's in the safety mix. That's why, for Guthrie, it's different. Those guys were in spring. You kind of got new coaches. They're familiar with him. Now you're in the offseason. Competition is thick, and it's tough, man. I mean, we see Dante Lloyd over here and Jalen's down in Florida. He was talking to me saying that his room is deep. Listen, that's everywhere.
Sure.
Competition is thick. You got to find a way to get up to the top of the ladder and be successful. So, anyways, we'll take a quick break, come back. We'll talk a little bit more Nebraska. We'll see if Danny Noonan's in the house. You know who Danny Noonan is?
I know who Danny Noonan is.
Yeah, we might try to see if we get Danny Noonan on there. Big man was in there. He used to be our weight coach, man. He used to be killing us. Anyways, Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, live up here at the Blur. Old School, we'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Championship season is here, and when it comes to buying a home, having the right team matters too. Ethan Fernandez with Lincoln Federal Savings Bank helps homebuyers step up to the plate with local guidance and mortgage process designed to keep things moving. Get started today at efernandez.lincolnfed.com. Lincoln Federal Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing leader.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Hey everyone, this is Austin Orman from Old School with Foreman and Orman, live from 1040 O Street in the heart of downtown Lincoln, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. My favorite thing about downtown Lincoln has to be the year-round energy. Downtown Lincoln never stops. It's easy to get to, has everything you could need or want in dining, entertainment, and retail, and of course it has Lincoln's best sports talk, proudly located in downtown Lincoln on the corner of 11th and O.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
Your number one dad may not need another tie or coffee mug, but he always needs a little more award-winning barbecue from Hog Wild. Give Dad a meal fit for the king of your castle this Father's Day with Hog Wild's hearty, family-pleasing menu. Our meaty ribs, tender beef brisket, pulled pork, and hot links pair perfectly with our home-style sides. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street, family owned and operated, always the best value.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Farmers know it all starts with the soil. At Carbon Connections, they're helping you unlock its full potential. Their high-quality humic acid improves nutrient uptake, boosts root development, and enhances soil structure, so your crops get more from every acre. But it doesn't stop there. With a full lineup of crop protection products, they help you reduce synthetic inputs while protecting yields and profits. Smarter inputs, healthier soils, better returns. It's time to grow more naturally. Visit Carbon Connections on Facebook or call them today at 402-947-1476 to learn how they can help your farm thrive. Carbon Connections, unlocking your potential.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for their 14th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an exclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, they're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, old school. We're live in effect out here at Tailgate at the Blur, 11th and Cass Street. We're talking a little Husker football, what needs to happen in the summer. It is June 17th. Time's ticking. Austin, there's an old saying, the days are long, the years are short. Hey, and every single day, the pressure starts to mount, and it's a good pressure. You got to get ready to play, but ultimately, once you get the middle of June, man, it's go time. So, obviously,
what's going on right now in colleges?
Well, there's a lot of recruiting going on the weekends, and
then for players, you're on the
players,
team. Yeah.
You're lifting and running, and I'm sure they have some sort of practices or whatever, whether it's just player led and then some film study. I'm sure they're doing things 3 or 4 times a week. I mean, I don't know what their schedule is, but that's normally what people are doing. There's no days off. There's no time off. First of all, at this point, nobody needs any time off. You're getting ready, to try to do something special. So it's a heavy work week, 5 days a week, because before you know it, the season will start.
Yeah.
It's tough, man. I mean, so look, as much as, players will probably want to come up and go to College World Series. You got probably a big workout Thursday. And Fridays, generally, the one thing about Fridays is always the hardest. They want to make sure you ain't going out on the weekend, especially on Friday night. So the run on Friday is usually the hardest.
Well, what was the Friday like for you guys? What were you doing on Fridays?
Well, we would be out in the stadium about
running all the stairs.
Yeah, whenever the hottest index was, that's when we ran. So sometime in the afternoon.
So you were ready for Houston?
Yeah, ready for anything. And we were ready for Coach Osborne. So we'd run the stadium. We'd have our different, we'd, warm up, do our agilities, run the stadium. And then we sometimes, we'd do, if it was a sprint day, we'd do that stuff. Or we had this thing, I used to call it the NFL experience, where it's kind of competitive. You kind of go through an obstacle course and all that type of stuff. I mean, we worked out there. You got to embrace the challenge. We felt like, now whether it was true or not, mentally we felt like we'd done things harder than anybody else, and we were more ready. And so when we got into games or in the camp, it wasn't easy by no means. We were just ready to go. We were ready to able to separate ourselves. I felt like it helped us later in the season as well, where you have this, it's not just a physical, prowess that you have, it's the mental, the competitive stamina to stay in it. You learn that. You learn how to push yourself. Today's obviously a hot day, but when it's really, really hot like it was last week, you push yourself to where you find a way to get through a workout, not only get through it, but do it the right way. You don't want to be in survival mode. You want to be in strive mode. So sure, it sucks at that point, but you also have to understand and keep tricking your mind to understand that, like, if I have to touch the line, or I have to have good footwork, a good stance, or finish a run, or whatever it is, or compete all the way through, even though it might not mean anything, like on June 17th, it means everything on September 17th or 18th.
Feel free to cop out, and I'm sure it's different on a player-to-player basis. Actually, let me phrase it this way. Were you a player that when you're going through that, you needed to tell yourself, this sucks, but I can do it? Or were you a player that said, this doesn't suck, this is great, I enjoy being here?
I was both. I think
okay.
I think when you're a young player, this sucks, and we're going to find a way to figure it out. We're going to make it happen, right?
Without dwelling on it sucks.
Right. It sucks. Put that in the garbage. Well, now let's figure it out. And that's where the seniors will bring up the younger guys, right?
Gotcha.
And then as I became I was a older player, more established, kind of had more confidence in myself, and was a good player and a leader and a captain, I was like, oh, bring it on. Because I knew that the better that I would approach it, everybody was watching. That's the hard thing when we asked Braylen about that. What do you got to get used to? You go from being a really good player as a sophomore, really great player as a junior. Now you're in a leadership role. So your stats and everything have to remain the same, but you also got to bring guys along with you, because they are watching you every single day, how you approach things, how you take coaching, how do you work, how do you lead, are you consistent, are you fair, are you too much, do they feel like you have too big of an ego? That's why when he said, hey, it's the same, this is the main thing is the main thing. We really don't need the social media stuff unless we know they're in a good place, not only for him, but for the team, because he has to be a leader on the team.
Yeah, no, I think that makes a lot of sense. Big thanks as well to Stephen Braylen for stopping by earlier in the show. In case you missed it, check out the podcast when we're done. It'll be up pretty quickly. Rewind the stream. You can go back and listen to the first segment of the show. A few guys stand out to me, Jay, that probably need a big summer. I think Donovan Jones figuring out his role, Con, Rhett, guys like that in the defensive backfield. I would say there's a big opportunity for Andrew Marshall, right? A guy that played pretty well at times last year, but, I think that's a guy that needs to step into that leadership role even more, right? Single digit adjacent sort of player. I think for Justin Evans, one of the few holdovers on that offensive line. What does his voice look like? Is he leading workouts, getting on the same page with Calandria?
Number 4 center or something like that?
Which didn't see that coming, to be completely honest. Good for him if he can play his way, into that conversation and be, late day 2 type of draft pick. I think that goes a long way for Nebraska. Obviously, Elijah Pritchett, the transfers will come to mind as well. Running back, a lot goes into it. A name I brought up a lot, Quinn Clark.
Yeah.
Dude, they keep recruiting over you. You know, whether they mean to or not. I know you need bodies at receiver, but if I'm Quinn Clark, I'm taking that personal in the best way of, hey, I know I can play. They know I can play. Why do they keep trying to take my job from me? And I think, to me, the example for Quinn Clark to follow is Emmett Johnson.
Yeah.
Maybe not exact same personality. Obviously, Quinn Clark's super big. Emmett Johnson, the knock on him was, is he big enough? And so they're not the exact same story, but same sort of thing. Hey, why do they keep trying to go get someone to take my spot when I know I can play and they should know I can play?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, man. I mean, if you play wide receiver or DB, you always are. That's what most kids play. So, look, every year it seems like they're trying to get somebody else from another state, and you haven't really had a chance to show your stuff or develop. So you really staying down for the process and development is key. And that's why the communication from the head coach to the position coach to the players and assistant coaches to the players as well is crucial, because You see the potential of Quinn Clark. He needs some still time to mature. He's got to play. He's going to make plays. But, sometimes you recruit guys, you got to play them. It's tough because you always got to recruit with the assumption that there's going to be attrition, even though you had a good plan in place for them.
Yeah.
And patience is at the all-time high right now. And you need patience on both sides. So I don't know what's going to happen. So
there's just a couple names that came to mind for me.
Yeah.
So.
We're going to go to break real quick. If you're listening back there, Nick Wyman. When we come back, we're going to have Danny Noonan, D lineman extraordinaire. I think he went to Northeast. We're going to have him on next segment. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, Old School. We'll be right back.
This summer, as the world watches the pitch, Raising Cane's is serving up the best matches all tournament long, like chicken fingers and cane sauce. No matter who you're rooting for this summer, pick it with Cane's for the games. One love.
Hey, Nebraska sports fans. This summer, professional tennis returns to Lincoln. Watch rising stars of the ATP Tour compete for over $100,000 in prize money for the 2026 Lincoln Challenger from July 12th to the 19th at the Sid and Hazel Dillon Tennis Center. Witness top tennis pros compete right here in Lincoln and experience tennis close up like never before. To purchase tickets or to sign up for volunteer opportunities, please visit www.lincolnchallenger.com. Not just a stop, a stage. Lincoln Challenger 2026.
Hey everyone, it's Brie Marie. Join me and James Rowland every Sunday night at 7 p.m. from April through August for the Finish Line. We'll do laps around the headlines in dirt track racing, let the rubber meet the road for NASCAR news, and talk with special guests, including your favorite local drivers and racing personalities. That's the Finish Line, Sunday at 7 p.m. all summer long on 93.7 The Ticket.
Is your technology built for where you are or for where you're going? Can your current technology support future growth? To break through that invisible ceiling, you need executive-level strategic technology advising. Moser can help your business grow appropriately and efficiently, giving you the ability to turn your tech stack from a cost center into a growth engine. Visit moserit.com/theticket. That's moserit.com/THETICKET to learn more.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Some people are looking to buy their very first home. Others are looking to build. And some are refinancing to make what they have work a little better. But the one thing they all need? A personal guide through the mortgage process. At Pinnacle Bank, our local lenders work closely with you to find the right kind of loan and the best rates possible. Because every path home deserves someone by your side. Find your lender today. With Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At Schwezo Construction, safety isn't just a policy, it's a promise. Build with us. Work safe, go home proud. We're hiring skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, and steel erectors who value quality work and a team that has your back, on and off the job site. If you're ready to be part of a company where your safety and success come first, visit schwezo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com and apply today. Schwezo Construction, 40 years strong and still building the future.
Are you craving the ultimate game day experience? Red Zone Sports Bar and Grill has your front row seat. Dive into delicious wings, juicy burgers, and frosty drinks, all served up with TVs covering every inch of the walls so you'll never miss a play. Stop in for their incredible daily specials like $3 tall boys on Mondays, 5 wings for less than $6 on Wednesdays, and $20 beer buckets on Fridays. Red Zone Sports Bar and Grill right by the Lincoln Airport at 3111 Northwest 12th Street.
Imagine if the people who work at your bank or neighbors who could help with a home loan. Congratulations, you're approved. Or friends who love to shop local.
Have a good one.
At UBT, who you work with matters just as much as what you're working toward. Hey, thanks for helping. That's why your money has more than a banker. It has people. Union Bank and Trust.
Equal housing lender. Member FDIC.
New from Arbor Axe House comes Benny's Battle Barge, the mobile axe throwing adventure. Perfect for festivals, parties, fundraisers, and celebrations. Charter the barge at arboraxe.com or call Arbor Axe House at 402-802-9696. Arbor Axe House at the corner of N Street and Antelope Valley.
Concrete Industries has immediate openings for production laborers, operators, and drivers. Earn great pay starting at $21.50 per hour, plus health benefits, 401k, paid time off, and more. Right now, production laborers can earn a $1,500 hiring bonus, and drivers are eligible for a $2,500 hiring bonus. No experience? No problem. Concrete Industries offers on-the-job training and opportunities to grow your career. Start your future today. Visit concreteindustries.com.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Keep summer green with Judson Baleen and Judson Irrigation. More than 40 years ago, Judson Irrigation started taking in orphans. Lawn sprinkler systems installed by a quickie, cheapy summer job, install 'em and forget 'em outfit long forgotten. Call Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket.
What up, we're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, and to my right is Danny Noonan, former Nebraska defensive lineman, All-American, Lincoln Northeast Rocket, right?
That's right.
That's
yeah,
right.
long time ago.
Hey, we all say
That's
that.
right.
Welcome in, Danny.
Thank you.
You know you're here for, in Blur. You're not going to the game. We have that in common. Baseball, we're going to take a pass on. But one thing I like to have all former players come on because I want to talk about your experience, but more importantly, I want to dive into your head and what makes a good defensive lineman, because I was a linebacker until I realized how important the D linemen were and to knowing what's a good player, what I liked, how it all works. I really never reached my peak until I really embraced what you got to do. So for our fans listening out there, what are your top 2 or 3, I guess, attributes of a good defensive lineman, one person, in a good defensive line? Because I think Nebraska fans get that mixed up. You can have one good player, but a crappy defensive line. But you can have 4 good players in a great defensive line.
Sure. No, and it's funny you say that, because if you ask any of my boys, they would say, "Oh, what's your dad? How's your dad coach?" Number one thing for a defensive lineman is get off on the ball. You get off on the ball, and that is 98% of your battle right there.
Right.
And if you just watch, I think a lot of the fans and online and social media gets us in their head, "Oh, this guy should do this technique, this guy should do that." Before any of that happens, does the guy get off on the ball? Does he anticipate the snap count?
Right.
And you watch the great players that, I'm going way back with Howie Long, Reggie White, Brosa brothers, guys that are just unbelievable pass rushers. They get off on the ball and they anticipate that snap count. And it's not so much about technique. Like I said, it's just getting off on the ball and anticipating that. They watch a lot of film. They know what, as you know, they know what play it is when the team comes up.
Right.
They're looking at, it's 3rd and 5. I anticipate this coming. But you got to get the snap count in too. But that would be the number one thing I would look for in a defensive player is get off on the ball. Number 2 Does that player, is he get off on the ball and then he doesn't do anything, doesn't chase? Right. That would be the other thing I would look at.
So effort.
Yeah. And it's enthusiasm. And one of my coaches, Jimmy Johnson, said, I want you to look like a rolling ball of butcher knives going down the thing, right?
Yeah.
That you are just getting off on the ball and you have effort, you don't stop. And it's easy to say that, but it's easy to see on the film.
Right.
You know, and I don't even
It's
have
either
to
you do it or you don't. I mean,
yeah.
When you've done it, you see it right away. You know, and I always tell Austin here, you know, football players are like wolves. You have this sixth sense. You can you sense and you know. You know, we know what it looks like because we've done it. The one thing I want to ask you, because we talked about it in the last segment, where does that start? Now, we know this, but for our fans, where does that start? Everybody thinks it starts on Saturday when you run out the tunnel. Where does that start?
You know, for me, it started when I was in ninth grade.
Yeah.
Going 2 hours before a ninth grade football game and sitting in this long hallway and visualizing what I'm going to do. And I didn't even know what I was doing, right? I'm like, okay, so I don't know why. It's kind of an intrinsic thing that's got to come from inside a lot of times, right? You don't know why you're doing it. I would ride my bike to the thing 2 hours before a ninth grade football game and sit and wait for the coach to get there 2 hours before. And I would just listen to music and watch. And okay, I'm getting off on the ball. I'm stepping with the right foot. I'm doing whatever move. I'm making the sack. I'm making the tackle. So it comes way before you get into college.
Right.
You know, you turn on the film and go, wow, this guy's special. Right. You can do that in 3 or 4 plays and see that in high school by the time they get to high school.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I can spot that. And I know, you know, guys like Steve Warren, there's a Warren Academy, which I've worked for in the past, but you can see guys that they have that little snap.
Yeah.
That's something that you can't coach, no matter how many camps you go to, how much weight you lift. It's not about lifting weights. It's about being able to transfer that onto the field. And I think that comes, I think you're either born with it or not, honestly. Right. And I don't know why, you know, some of that happened, but it's just like visualization is another thing that I would say that if you're not doing it, do it and do it often. And maybe you won't be good at it. You're not going to be good at the beginning, but you will learn, and that will be for anything, for life. That will help you throughout your life.
Yeah, I mean, it goes without saying, if you speak it, you know, everybody thought it was, you know, probably when we were like big tough guys, everybody thought like, oh, if you speak it in existence, you're not tough. But if you speak it and believe it, you know, it does generally work out. Might not be right now, but then eventually it does.
Yeah.
The one thing I wanted to ask you about, and Austin asked me about it, because I always felt like for us there wasn't any off season, but this is the off season. Talk about the importance of development individually and collectively, like for you D-line, us as linebackers, us as a defense, how important the off season is to training camp, which is, I guess they call fall camp, and then the season, what that off season means.
Sure. No, I think it's as you know, I was a strength coach in Nebraska from 94 to 2000. So it's the little things you need to do. So it's like, do I need to watch more film? Do I need to stretch more? Do I have maybe I got a hamstring pull? I need to work on that. Do I need to, I need to get bigger and stronger? Yeah. But it's all in a level of college football to be competitive, a 1 or 2% increase is huge.
Right.
Huge.
Yeah.
And how do you do that? If I want to improve a little bit in this area, a little bit in nutrition, a little bit in recovery, and then how does that all add up? What's the holistic? You look at the holistic view of that: nutrition, visualization, the whole gamut, and you put it all together, and that 1 or 2%. It doesn't have to be huge leaps. It's just got to be that little bit. If you look at college football, that's all it is, right? I mean, I always say it's a game of inches. That's an old saying, but you really have to be able to do that and want to do that. If the coach says, hey, Jay, you've got to start watching more film, you got to need to stretch. I don't want that guy. If I have to tell him that, you need to chase the ball. If I have to say that in a meeting, I don't want that guy there. He's going to say, I want to know. I mean, Charlie McBride was he was a great, there was no like, oh, what's Charlie think of you? You know what Charlie thinks of you, right? And it was pretty cut and dry of, here's how you're doing. And
Right.
I like that. I don't want to like
Yes.
sugarcoat anything.
Right.
You know, oh, that was a bad play. I
Right.
get that. What do I need to do, coach? Yeah, here's what you need to do. Okay. I'm going to visualize that. I'm going to visualize the right way to do it next
Right.
time. Okay.
Yeah, it's always people don't realize, like, you know, I think I want to ask you this before we let you go. I think the first time I got tuned up by Coach McBride, I didn't know what to think, and everybody was watching me to see how you react. Then I figured, like, hey, as long as he's kind of like invested in me, he was there when I was making great plays too. But when I messed up, he was right there as well.
Which was never, I'm sure.
Tough love. Tough love.
And
It was.
I didn't have a problem
yeah.
with it, but once you realize the method to his madness, because really, to be honest with you, he didn't have time to negotiate a non-negotiable. Like,
Exactly.
he missed the tackle, then he helped me to figure out why. What was it like when you first kind of came from high school and then your first Charlie McBride experience?
You know, I don't know if I can tell you the first Charlie McBride experience. Well, yeah, I can. But we had been out the night before. A couple players, and Charlie comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, buddy," but that's not what he said.
Yeah.
I heard you were messing around, and that's not what he said either.
Yeah.
I was messing around last night, and he said, "I want you to go do 3 steps." And so I'm like, 3, you know, in the stadium, right? And I start running. He goes, "Stop!" I said to do 3 steps. He just meant 1, 2, 3 steps, not the whole thing. You know, he's like, and then he started turning around and started laughing. I was like, that was kind of my first time. I'm like, what is up with this guy?
Yeah.
When I was a strength coach, I saw him confront Patrick Kabongo. So Patrick was a French Canadian that really didn't speak English was okay. And he goes, Patrick, he goes, "What's wrong with you? Are you communist?" And Patrick turns to me and goes, "What does he mean, communist?"
Yeah.
I said, "Man, he's just messing with you."
Yeah.
But it's just stuff like that. Like, so Charlie was great. I mean, like I said, he cut through. It's just like, I like that in a coach or a person, you know where they stand. It's like, right, and here's what we need to do. Because you can't have all the fluff of, oh, you know, hopefully this guy gets better next week. And like I said, if you need to ask a player, can you give more effort? I don't want that guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If a player asks, how can I improve? I would say, yeah, that's a guy. What am I doing? What am I doing right? How can I even improve on that? Right. I want that guy, but not the guy that you have to say, can you give more effort, or can you use the right technique, or can you learn the defense?
Right. Right. Yeah.
Right. I mean,
all the controllables you need to control before we have a relationship.
Exactly.
Before we let you go, give us a quick update on Mav, how he's doing out there in Fresno.
Yeah, so Maverick's been at Fresno State for now since January. Went through the whole portal experience, which is something, another radio show on its own, but he's doing great out there.
Good.
I mean, they have a sellout. It's not 85,000, it's 40,000.
Sure.
But they really have a great program out there. Great coaches.
Right.
They don't have the whistles and bells that Nebraska has, but he's learned as much off the season that he has on.
Good.
I mean, he never cooked before. Now he's cooking, and he's doing a lot of things that he's on his own. I think when you're in Nebraska, they have so much resources, which is great, that you're kind of in a bubble. When you get out of that bubble, you don't know really how to live sometimes, right? Because they have your shake with your name on it. Here you go. Yeah. Right. And which is great. That's awesome. But they don't have that there.
Right.
You got to have your own shake in your locker ready to go.
Right.
Right. So it's caused him to really, pull that inner reliance out of himself, which he's great anyway. But yeah, I'm looking forward. They open up with USC in the Coliseum.
Oh, that'd be a great
and
experience.
it's going to be on Fox.
Yeah.
So they moved it from Saturday to Friday. So that's going to be exciting for him. So he's weighing almost 260 now.
Yeah.
He went from a rush in 230, 235 in Nebraska to almost 260 now at Fresno State.
Good.
So he loves it. Yeah,
That's good to hear.
Great
man.
fit for him.
Yeah, good. We're happy for him. We're pulling for him. Be great. His first game is going to be on national TV.
Yeah,
set the party off with a couple.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Glad he's healthy. Glad you stopped by, man. Good.
Yeah,
seeing
appreciate
you
it, man.
I will tell you, for people listen, Danny used to be working us, man. I'll tell you, he had us right, and I thank you for all your help when we were in the weight room. But that's our segment today. Old school, Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, Danny Noonan. We're live out here. Blurred Tailgates. We'll holler at you tomorrow.
This summer, as the world watches the pitch, Raising Cane's is serving up the best